So Danny, they're explaining exactly what our riders, our competitors are going to face. And as you can see from our start, from Spanish riders, one rider from Great Britain, one Austrian and one Slovakian rider to the final. Going to be very interesting to see who will take this away. And you know these guys really inside out one way or another. You've been competing at the same venue, seeing them in action, and any particular standouts there?
Well, I mean, to be honest, in the 20-inch category, they're all standouts. They're absolutely amazing. We've got, there's Jonas Christiansen, who narrowly missed out on finals, who trains with all these guys as well. And yeah, I mean, we're going to be starting from 6th place from the semi-finals up to 1st place in the semi-finals. So first rider out is going to be Samuel Laverty. I mean, Samuel, super smooth. We've actually got a really big mix of styles as well. They don't all ride the same as each other. They're going to be using different lines. Thomas Pekako qualified in 5th place, known for just absolutely massive power moves, big Austrian guy. So here we've got Samuel Laverty heading onto the stage first from Slovakia. He's something like 10 times Slovakian champion. He made the finals back in 2019, I think it was, at Chengdu. So he's back into the finals now, narrowly missed out in 2021. And of course we skipped 2020. Yeah, we're hoping for a top result from Samuel. I've been training with him a lot, South Africa, Spain, all over Europe, so I know he's absolutely amazing and what he's capable of. And then next up we have Thomas Pekaka. Thomas is an absolute powerhouse, known for really, really big moves. This guy's got one of the biggest hops on a bike you've ever seen. So he's pretty excited to get on some big moves. Been training hard with him this year. Actually, the three of us were just at Spain for the last 2 weeks training together. So yeah, these guys are really, really pushing it. And then next up we have Eloy Palau, who is one of the top riders from Spain and from Catalonia. He's he's been very, very close to winning the World Championships before, and he's been super motivated. Interesting fact about him: got blown up by a bomb a couple of years ago, unexploded World War II bomb.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
back on the bike now and riding well.
And a bronze medalist from last year as well, so going to
Indeed.
be interesting to see if he can get himself up there. Next up is the rider from Great Britain.
Indeed, Charlie Rolls. Now this guy, we're going to see some spectacular stuff from him. He's got a very different style, likes to ride really flamboyant and just enjoy himself. The best advice you can give him is just do something cool, and he's just going to do it. Like last year at the World Champs, he did some amazing stuff, and this year at the World Cup. So we're going to see something very cool from Mr. Charlie Rolls there.
He's looking like, yeah, I know what I got in front of me. Let's get this out of the way. Let me at it.
Yeah,
let me at it. I want to
really
go
likes
ride.
the technical stuff, so this is good because it's quite a technical course, I think. So, and he's a very fast rider. So it's a long, each section's quite long, a lot of gates. It's all about getting to the end and getting as many points as you can. So Charlie's got a good chance there. And then next up, our top two riders. We have Alejandro Montalvo, again from Spain, who, well, there's nothing to say about him. He's won multiple events in the past. The only thing I think he hasn't won is the World Championships. So this could be his day. He's super focused, been training really hard on his jitsi, and he's got some really good support. And yeah, I'm excited to see how he does. You know, like this could be his year.
Well, let's hope so. You never know. It was a silver medal last year. Will he be able to get that one step up? That's got to be some serious motivation, but the money's got to take out defending champion from 2021.
Yes, we have Borja Conejos, who, again, another Spanish rider. Like we said earlier on, they really do dominate the trials scene because they have perfect weather and great riding locations, and they just have such good facilities for everyone to train. So Borja is, well, he was former world champion, so he could be winning here again. I believe this will be his second world champion title.
Yeah, it's a win last year. He knows what it's like to have the rainbow jersey. He knows what it's like to be world champion, and he has got to desperately want to retain that. But
Absolutely.
This course is brutal. It's really, really long. It's something with some extra technicality that, as we saw, a lot of the local features like the sand, like the palm trees, like we've got the water. And obviously, we'll bring that in. I'm sure it's bound to feature later on.
You see that everybody rode off the stage except for Charlie, who just decided, yeah, I'll chuck in a 360 off just because, you know, it wakes him up and gets him going. And that's what he's like. He's just a bit more flamboyant, you know. And if he's enjoying himself, he's riding well. So first up on section one, we have Samuel Laverty, who first to take on the concrete section. This is concrete molds especially made for this event. They've done a really, really cool job of building this course. It looks absolutely mental. So check this out. Here we go. So collecting points as he goes through each gate. That red column in front of him is worth the first 10 points. So clean through there. He'll be on 10 points so far. Charging his way through the sand there. Here we go. So the first pretty big gap here. It's going to be hooking the front tyre over, keeping that back wheel nice and central. That rather slippy point. Dropping down into the sand. Here we go. So instead of gapping straight across, he's decided to go down, set up on the red edge, across to the green column, then a big gap across to the black one as well. So really technical. Sam's taking his time a little bit here. Come on, Samu. Yeah, Bronco straight over. So just clearing the back wheel right the way over in one on that. Not stopping on the back wheel at all. Now, this next gap, this is the third gate. Chatting to everybody this morning. We're like, wow, this is absolutely crazy. So let's see if he can get this. So up onto these two posts and a massive gap. It's I would guess it's about 2.80 meters across and up by about 20 or 30 centimeters. They've shaved off the top to give him a bit of a landing space now. Big gap. Oh, he's so close. And he's got to keep both wheels straight through that gate as well. So as he comes off, he can't twist the front wheel out, or that's a fail on the section. So he can go back, because he hasn't gone through the next part of this gate, he can go back and go through that first gate again. So here we go, lining up. Huge gap here. Come on, Samuel. Come on. Big effort. Oh, he's so close. Right on the edge. Can he hold it? He's holding it. Come on. 20 points so far, 20 seconds left. Is he going to go around for another attempt? This is, like I said, it's about 2.80 meters across and really goes up a good 20 centimeters or so. So it's a big bit of power. Now, I know Sam has a huge, huge gapping ability. 5 seconds left. If he's going to get these points, he's got to really go. Come on. Clock's running down. Last time. Long way across. Oh, that is a shame for Samuel. I know he's going to be annoyed with that, but he needs to just put that out of his mind now. Think about the next section. There's nothing else he can do.
And that 20 points in there. It's such a tough start here. Let's watch this again. He started so well, but then made his way into that end section. And this is really tricky, because although these look really wide, one of the things you said to me earlier on, it is about nailing the top and nailing the centre of that slope.
Yeah.
And
so
it takes a lot of energy.
These concrete pipes are actually, although they're about 30 centimetres wide, but they're painted with like basically super slippery paint. So Thomas flying through, he's going to want to go quickly, and then I think he's going to try and have a break before gate 3. I would imagine that'd be his tactics. Both of these guys ride for the life cycle training crew, which is basically organised by one of the other top riders in the world, following his programme and both making finals, which is fantastic. Here we go. So holding on the back wheel, just sailing through here, looking pretty confident. And again, yeah, clearing that, no need to stay on the top of that. So these guys have got a lot of power, so they can just throw the bikes straight the way through. So taking a little bit of a breather there. Now I really think Thomas can do this gap. This guy can jump absolutely miles, but this is really high, and if you're slightly off angle and the back wheel slides, it's going to be a big crash. And you can see his brother there, Alexander, for safety, just in case he goes wrong. Come on, Thomas. Come on. Yes, there it is. Woo! Come on, Thomas. Yes. So good. So first rider through gate number 3. I'm really glad the organisers earlier on, they left it as a round pipe to start off with, and it was raised, that it was really dangerous, and it's still obviously a very challenging move. So here we go, through gate 4, making his way up. He's just got to stay steady and keep moving now. 30 seconds left. Come on, Thomas. Keeping it moving. You've really got a motor now. Here we go. 25 seconds, 1 gate left. You can hear Carousel in the background shouting, come on. This is coach and trainer. Come on, hooking the front wheel now. One last big move. He's going to be really feeling it in his arms now. Yes, there it is. There it is, 60 points. Yes, Thomas, good start.
And with 8 seconds to spare on the clock. And
so important to get that gate 3, first try, big bit of power.
Unlocks the rest of the whole run then, doesn't it? Absolutely. And once you break this, you could see as he came over, really, he nailed that, and he was stable on landing, wasn't he? It was so not like he had to correct.
Yeah, fantastic. Really, really stable. and then pin that to the front wheel perfectly. As you can see, he's got the front rim brake on there. Most of these guys are now running the front rim brake and a rear disc, so you've got that pinning power on the front tyre. Here we go. Eloy Palau starts his bid for the World Champion title here in today's finals. The World Championships. Big gap straight across, so he didn't drop down. He didn't waste that time going down. He knows he wants to motor and give himself a bit of time just to prep up for this big gap here. Here we go. All right, lining up. You can see from there that the angle on that black piece of concrete he's got to land on. They put a bit of grip on there just so that they don't fly the back tyre out if it goes wrong. This is a huge gap. Oh, just through! Just through, and manages to throw his weight to the left and get right the way through that marker. So third gate, he's flying through so far, moving pretty quickly. Look at this, very rapid moves. No messing around from Eloy, like he's riding at home. Training with him in Catalonia last week, and he was looking really motivated. He knows that a win is totally possible here. 50 points so far, and he's got 40 seconds left. Looking really confident and dominant here. But you still have to be very, very accurate on this point. Look at this, back wheel right on the edge. Pin the front wheel, switching through to the back tyre. Out with 25 seconds left and 60 points for Allow.
I mean, what a time as well. He's gone through, he went through incredibly fast. So breathing really hard, as always at the end of the run, but in part because he went through so quick. It shows his confidence level. As he came over here, this was a lucky save.
Look at that tyre. Did you see it land on that slope, just squidge off to the side? Managed to like go full commitment on that.
And he's got to get between the tanks. So if you're watching this for the first time, the key here, 5 sections. This is section 1, the riders are trying to complete. They've got to go through each of those 6 set parts of the run. And in this, they've got to keep it between the tanks. They've got to go through, and it's
whole centre line of the bike has to go straight through. So here we are with Charlie Rolls from the UK. Oh, and really, he's not through. The front axle, there was definitely, he's missed a gate. I believe he's missed a gate. He missed gate 3. Okay, Charlie is going to be absolutely livid about that.
So Charlie Rolls from the UK started his run. You see he's going to take another look at this because they're saying that he went through. It's not a happy bunny there, that is for sure. So here we go.
The reason is that he went to gate 3 before he went through the final gate. So he went through the green one, and then he missed this gate here on the black one in front of your screen there, and he went straight through. The only thing is that actually, if the bike hasn't gone through the next gate, as far as I know, it's the rear axle, not the front. So this gate here, technically he hasn't gone through that gate. But I might be wrong, they're obviously going on the front axle, not the rear axle. Because at this point, a rider can obviously realise they've made a mistake and go back and do that line. So they may be checking the rules quickly there. But he was obviously so focused on that gap that he's kind of pushed through really fast. But all still to play for. It's an early time. And you see, he nearly did exactly the same. So Alejandro Montalvo here starting. And he very nearly missed that gate as well that Charlie missed. The problem is when there's your crux move at that point in the section, you get so focused on that, you're like, right, just go straight, get there, rest, focus on that move. Exactly what he's doing there. Just really focusing solid. Got to line up and then a massive burst of power. Here we go, on the back wheel, lining up dead straight. So really sharp angle on that edge. Yes! Come on, Alejandro. This guy has got some power. He's really developed his big power moves the last few years. But also a very, very technical rider, so he's really come on leaps and bounds. He's going to be definitely hoping he gets 60 points here. So on the back wheel, getting absolutely central on that pipe on the floor. Perfect with the back. And here we go. Here we go, flying through. So he's got 26 seconds left. Going through gate 5, I believe that is. Dropping down, he's just got gate 6. So he's got 15 seconds to get this last move. And Alejandro can move when he needs to. getting himself set. Here we go. 60 points for Alejandro Montalvo.
So the second to last rider to go through this second section, the second highest scorer in the semi-finals. He was 30 points behind the defending champion in the qualifiers, but he has gone through now. Charlie Rolls was the third best qualifier. He qualified immediately behind. He was only 30 points behind Alejandro. So we've got to see who is going to take this on, who can recover from this. But mistakes are so easy to make under pressure. Here we go. Yeah, defending champion.
Yeah, Borja is in on section 1. Let's see if he can keep up with the others and get a full 60 points. Still all to play for. I mean, although Charlie's got off to a bad start, and so has Samuel, though I've seen big comebacks where there's been mistakes later on in the competition and it goes swings and roundabouts. So let's just hope he can fight his way back from that. See what Borja's got here. Can he make this huge gap? I think he's going to get it. Come on. Just checking his time, making sure he's... normally when you walk through sections in your head as a rider, you kind of plan out your time and you think, right, I want to be here in 30 seconds, or have 5 seconds rest here. Just scrape that gap. You see that back tire right on the edge, it kind of just almost gave way as he moved. Oh, first time we've seen a pedal straight up onto that. Very nice, really technical. And now he's trying to get a move on, 43 seconds. So these moves here are really just to eat up time. So rather than just being a challenge of straight difficult moves, it's also putting a bit of a pressure of you as a rider to move quickly under time. So yeah, he's 25 seconds left. So he's a little bit faster than Montalvo to here, so he knows he's got time to get this last move. Little switch to back wheel. You can see these pipes glistening. Back wheel's got no traction here. Cameraman as close as he can get. Here we go, 60 points for Borja as well.
Wow, so here we are. We are at the end of the first of our sessions through. We have 4 runners scoring 60 points. One with 20 and Charlie wasn't up with 10, but 4 riders tying at the top of the standings. You can see in this run, he was lucky not to go out there, wasn't he? It was really on the edge, and it was only quick reactions that got him off there.
I'll tell you what, this morning when we walked around the sections, when it was just painted with a sharp edge on the top, those guys definitely would not have made it. You know, it would have just absolutely given way. So well done to the organisers for putting that bit of grip on there, because landing like that, the back tyre would have just flown away and it would have been some serious nasty accidents. And of course we don't want people getting hurt. That is not the idea. So good fighting chance. So there are your results so far. Charlie down there at 10 points, but still all to play for. 4 sections left to go. And Samuel starting his attack on section 2, already on gate 3, I believe. So this rock, you can't see from this angle, but it is really, really thin. And we saw some very bad crashes on this yesterday in the semi-finals. We had exactly the same gate, and it was incredibly tight. So just throwing his bike up to 2 wheels, so those tiny little edges. Samuel looking pretty focused here.
He needs to pull this back, doesn't he? He was on 20 points. He was just off the bottom because of that mistake, jumping across the big gap, jump now onto the more natural features where there's a much bigger variety actually of surface, isn't there?
Yeah, so here you've got to be so accurate. We're looking for, like, and this is a very tricky line. This is completely new for the finals. So really tricky. Oh yes, Samuel, come on. Yo! Managed to keep his foot off the floor there and just stay within the edge of the section. Hanging on for dear life by the looks of it. Going for this very technical movement there. Absolutely flowing nicely. Very quick hook. So he's got 15 seconds left. He's got 2 gates to go. Don't think he's going to get 60 points. Can he get this last one? That is, he's made that look easy, and that is a monstrous rock. That rock, a couple of seconds left. Gate 6. This last move, that is monstrous. The hook he did before, just to give you a frame of reference, is literally taller than my head. So it's about 6 foot tall, and he just sailed up it, making it look pretty chill. But there we go, 50 points. I'd say that's a pretty good score for Samuel. Little highlight. This is the second gate, big pedal up straight to 2 wheels. That's about 1m45, 1m50 pedal up. And then that rock there that he's just landed on is skinny and tiny and slippery. Didn't really see that. His foot was so close to
I think he was lucky that the commentators were the other side of the rock there, because that looked like he might not have touched it, but I think he was brushing it. There must have been like nothing in between. Oh, yeah, look, got to go back for this again.
Thomas is known for these big pedal up moves, so.
Oh, that surely was a hit there.
Yeah. He's got to keep his concentration together here. He's got a lot of power. Come on, Thomas. Got to keep moving.
So lights on the top left-hand side of your screen at width. He fills that with red lights. That's it, run over. He's now in trouble, because if he makes that 5 red lights, he's going to be pulled to a standstill. He's given away 2. Looking good though here, Andre.
Yeah, he's moving very, very smoothly and quickly. One thing to the next, and I see how he does on this, because this is a very, very tricky move, because where you're landing on the back wheel on that first rock is very, very upslope. So to keep your momentum moving forwards is really, really tricky. So back wheel, yeah, and a little manual down on the back wheel there as well. That's confidence for you right there. Here we go. Technical little line. Over the top there. No,
technical. He was
no dramas.
playing, isn't he?
It's not for him,
you know. It's just, it's like straight through.
Yeah.
But he's got to move, hasn't he? He's only got 30 seconds left.
Yeah, and this is, you see there, we saw Samuel do that so easily, but the front wheel actually has to land. It's like a centimetre strip on the other side of that. Otherwise, exactly what happened there. It just slides off to the side. Maybe he's got a puncher. He get away with it. He got away with it.
He needs to have a little check, didn't he? Because he came sliding down there, and once you go offline, it's really sharp, isn't it? So if you get the edge just wrong, it can do damage. But the guys have to have 2 bikes, yeah?
Yeah. So everybody in the finals has 2 bikes, just in case. To be honest, in this format, you know, if you have a major bike malfunction, you just literally don't have time to fix something. So, you know, you get a flat tyre, and you can see there that he's just missed the centre, and that left-hand side of the rock just slopes and disappears. So it actually is a triangle on top of that, so you have to land right the way over. So when you walk around, you have to give yourself a mental marker to look for. And Aloy flying up already through gate 1 onto gate 2, flying up the second gate onto that little point. Now this rock, this next one here, you can't see from this angle, but it is really, really skinny. So front wheel there, it's literally barely a tyre's width. You can see him wedge his 2 wheels on there and through. Quickly onto the next moves. Really nice and technical bit of movement here. Switching through to back wheel and down. Come on, Aloy. Here we go. Aloy's pretty good at using momentum. Looks like he's taking a slightly different approach here to the other guys, which is interesting. Oh, straight to back wheel. I never saw that coming. Oh my God, that was awesome. So much harder than it looks. Amazing.
Very, very small. And that is really inventive, isn't it? Because the guys don't get to ride this. You don't actually have a run at this. It's a walkthrough only to familiarise yourself with it. And there are changes to the course on the way through.
See,
and look at this.
You can see from that angle where his front tyre was just on the right-hand side of the rocks, the only place it's going to grip. Now, he's got 28 seconds to do this last gate, and this is absolutely massive. So the last move here is really, really the crux. So he's gone really fast, giving himself enough time to have a good shot at this. Come on. Oh, he's done it. No way. That's awesome. Honestly, that is a huge move to finish. Another 60 points there for Aloy. So, sailing ahead there. Very good. Worked hard for that. So swift.
Yeah, very, very quick through there. And that is going to be a big help to him as he moves on in the competition. Let's take a little bit of a look back at that. I mean, on the back wheel, straight in, straight over. And sometimes Route 1 just the easiest option. Looking at that power.
Oh, so good. Also, I'm going to take this opportunity to say how beautiful is the background here in Abu Dhabi. Like, absolutely, they have the best sunsets. It's amazing.
You're getting distracted from the road by the scenery here in Abu Dhabi. Well, let's see what Charlie Rolls can do. He's got to make. He's got to be the comeback king here on the way through. Already burning some time. 20 points on the board and straight over there.
Straight over the 30-point gate as well, so just flying straight through. Now, it'll be interesting because he's actually a left-footed rider rather than a right-footed rider, so this move is going to be very different for a lefty and for a righty. Because his left foot is forward, it means that that rock is going to be pointing into his good foot. So not very favourable for a lefty, but no worries for Charlie. So fast through there, look at that. No messing around, sailing over that. Yes, Charlie, straight up to front.
Who needs to pause to breathe? I think he's just, he's on a man on a mission now, isn't he?
He just keeps going. Look, no hesitating. Get the front, there it is, look, front tire on that little point. Absolutely sailing, 37 seconds left.
He's clawed that, it's just like
unbelievable, isn't it?
Gotta go, I'm on a mission,
so
this
rapid.
is it.
He's like, right, I'm just gonna go. But this is big, this is just a pure power move. He's gonna, I guess he's gonna have to try and bounce the front through. Yeah, that is a long, long way up. Come on, Charlie, here we go, come on. Big effort, big burst of power. He's close, 10 seconds left. Come on, Charlie. So close. Has he got it?
Has he got it? Did he get through in between the gates? They're going to give it to him.
They gave him 60. Is he 60?
Yeah, he's got a 60. Got
yes.
a 60.
Oh, he looks happy with that. Yeah.
That was a bit of a training mission there. It was
I'll
like he's just doing
what,
a gym session.
That was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. Like, look at this move here, just straight through, brakeless over the top, and then this one just rolling in, casual up to front. Absolutely awesome.
And we've seen pauses, we've seen breaks to have a think about what they're doing. It's almost like just got to go.
I mean, his back tyre was literally on the limit there. Did you see that? It was like, it looked like it, I mean, to me, it looked like it was over the tape, but it must have been just on it. So,
wow.
Literally, that's what it comes down to, like millimetres. Here we go. So, Alejandro making his attack on this section. We saw some really horrible crashes on that move yesterday. Honestly, it was really bad. A couple of people had to retire because they just back tyre slipped off that because it's so much more slippery and smaller than it looks on your screens if you're watching at home.
Yeah, the TV screens always change it. We've been out with, you know, literally, you've ridden it, I've walked around it and looked at it. There's no way I'm going to go anywhere near it. And just thought, what the subtlety that you don't get on potentially on the screens if you're watching this is how sharp the edges are, how tiny the areas for grip, the precise placement that the guys are having to do. And again, we're seeing another fast run. So once the guys come around the turn, they're on that homeward leg.
They really know that the last two moves are the big difficult moves in this section. So they know that they need to give themselves just that little bit more time. And Alejandro sailing through gate 5, 50 points. He's got 35 seconds left, nearly as fast as Charlie to this point. Here we go, come on, big effort. Oh, wow. Straight up, that is absolutely amazing. Flying through, this guy's sailing. Keeping the pressure on for Borja.
Well, this is going to put the pressure on, indeed, onto the defending champion. What a run here by Alejandro. You could see as he moved into this last section, he really went in quick, and then straight over here, first attempt, no 3 bites to the cherry there, he was just straight in and over.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy. This move here, look, just inch perfect, sailing straight over. All right, here we go. We are with Borja Conejos. Let's see how he gets on this section. Yeah, no dramas. So 20 points so far. Going for a slightly different approach on this one. The other guys choosing to go on the other side. But again, like Charlie, he is left-footed. So see how he gets on with this move. Later on, there is a move that's biased the other way, so it'll be better for the lefties and not for the righties. So they've done a really good job of making this as fair as possible, whether you're right or left. So you really have to be able to ride absolutely everything. Makes you a much better all-round rider, I think.
And that's the foot that you favour, the foot that's got the most power, so the one that you lead with.
All the time, he's always got his left foot forward, and then 2 of them are left foot, 4 of them are right foot. So, and little moves like this, when you're really close in with the bike, makes such a big difference. Here we go. focusing on that top point. Yeah, no dramas. All right then, 30 seconds left. Just one last big move. Long way up this, come on. Here we go, has he got it? Oh, yes. I'll tell you what, I stood next to that and the low part is as high as my shoulder. That's amazing. Imagine that. So good.
Right through.
These guys are sailing through, so we've got 3 riders on 120 points.
They're absolutely flying. So we have at the moment House leading with 120, but on the same score as Alejandro Montalvo, as well as Aloy Palau. Behind then, 90 points for Thomas Pekaka, 70 for Charlie Roll, 70 for Samuel Laverty. So really tight behind as well. And remember, this is going to continue. 3 more sections to go, and now we hit the sand. This is a whole different way of riding, isn't it? Because this is incredibly difficult. If you've ever tried running or riding down a beach, this is about 100 times even harder, because you're not just trying to get forward momentum, these guys are trying to get takeoff as well. Yeah, exactly. So as you compress, the sand kind of pushes away from underneath the tyre, and you've got to be really accurate. And of course, all of that then gets stuck on the tyres and then goes all over the rocks and everything you're riding on. So it just reduces all your friction. Now, big kicker movement here. I know Samuel's amazing at kickers, so I'm hoping he's going to get this big long way up. Oh, he hooks it, wedges onto the top, and unfortunately puts a foot down, so he loses the points for gate 3. But that is a very, very awkward move. Now, off of this little sharp pointy rock, that side view gives you a really good view of how pointy this rock is. That really small, skinny edge. Try and switch the back wheel, hit the front wheel up. So with him now having that point up there, it means he can't score any points from here, but he's still got to get through the gate. He can't just bypass it. Yeah, so it's actually it's a good question, because I'm not sure if the judges would have given him the points for the previous gate and then let him get the points for the gate from this, or whether they would have taken the points away from the previous gate. I think from the previous gate, because there's a 0 up there on gate 3. So now he can get the full 10 points for gate 4. Did he manage to keep that clean? I think he did, yeah. So he'll get another 10 points as he drops down. Oh, no, he didn't. He did actually touch his cranks on the top of that one. It's so marginal, isn't it? And that's why there are 2 commissaires, 2 referees stood on the side, and double foot down there. You see there where he put his foot down, you see his foot just fly off down that slope. That shows how slippery it is. It is really slippery with the sand on. If we thought it was difficult before, this is now so much more technical. It's a whole different element trying to ride. You know, it's a great way of showing who's not just powerful, not who can just be good with placement, but also riding under these different conditions. You can see the sand there flying off his tyres as he's pushing in, and that there you can't really see from this angle, but that is actually well over head height. You can see as the commissioner comes round. You know, it's a good sort of 7 foot in the air. Yeah, they're not short commissioners. The commissioners are really they're 6 foot. They're not short. Yeah. You know, it's not like we've got the world's smallest guys judging this. They are absolutely you know, these guys are all ex-riders. They all know this, and you can see just how tough it is. So here we go, Thomas Pekaka coming on and already scoring 10 on his way through. But this sand is really adding another dimension. And of course, we've still got the palm trunks to go. We've got the waterfall section at the end. So it's just ramping up the pressure on the guys, isn't it? Yeah, so section 3, Thomas making quick work of this. But yeah, it's good that each section has a slightly different element. You need a slightly different style. It's not kind of, if it's all rocks and it's all on solid floor, you kind of know where you are. But this really adds another element, having the sand and the grass. And look at that. Hook straight to back wheel. Thomas, obviously known for his bunny hopping power, so really flying up that, making light work of that. And he's going to want to stay on as many points as he can. 4 riders, sorry, on 120 points after 2 sections. So he's going to want to try and get 60 points on this as well. Up to back wheel, pin in the front wheel. He was world champion in 2018, and he's at least 10 times Austrian champion, nicknamed Arnold for obvious reasons. Look at that, flying through, 40 points already. Come on, Thomas, 30 seconds left.
try and get 60 points. You can see him fighting with his back wheel in the sand there. Yeah, hooking the front wheel way over the top. Now he's got a big amount of power in his leg, so he can really, really pull up high. 50 points. Now this last move is a huge forward hook. He's got 15 seconds. Come on, Thomas. Whoa, that is a little bit taller than me. Probably nearly 180, 1 meter 80, I would say. Just not enough power to do that at the end. He's dying. Look, look at him shaking his arms out from holding that brake so hard.
Wow.
50 points though.
That was, I mean, you could see he got close. That last section,
so
he's got to get up and he's got to hook. So when you're talking about hook, that is landing the tyre over the top and into the next surface.
There's two types of hooks. So that one you see in there where he bunny hops and hooks. If you're hooking on a flat surface, obviously you can't stop and pull on the front wheel. So you actually need to have enough forward momentum and just keep moving through. So you can see he's going to hook the front wheel over so you can actually stop and pull back on the front tyre. But if it's flat on top, you don't have that option. So when it comes to these flat hooks, straight up, it's a completely different thing. You need to hit it with so much forward momentum to be able to keep going. So here we are with Aloy. Let's see what he's got. Okay, here we go. That is definitely Aloy. It says Borka on my screen, but it is Aloy as he works his way through. He's onto the run-up, the big kicker, the third gate. See what he's got. Oh, yes! A hook to front wheel, just stalling on the front wheel there. Aloy looks like he's kind of in the zone there, chilling quite nicely. If you see riders going sort of like very casual, it's usually a good sign. It means they've got that bit of flow state, as they call it in climbing, where you're just flowing through the section, doing your thing. Nice sharp point, front to back, and all just staying in the lines there. He nearly lost his balance on the top of that. Switching through to back wheel. All right, here we go, onto gate number 5. Back wheel, big gap across. It's actually a really, really long way to gap off that rock. Put the little rock in so you don't just have to come out of the sand. And then he's going for this next static one. No rock there to come off, just starting in the sand. Trying to press the sand under the back tyre. He's looking a little bit tired here.
You just see him pushing his body weight about a little bit more, just a sign of just getting tired, just not maybe as in control as he wants, and he's still got this big move to do.
And 20 seconds left, so you can see when you start to fatigue like that and you're falling backwards, for these guys, normally it's because they are fatiguing in their arms a little bit. Back gets a little bit tired. Big hook. Oh, he's so close! Come on, that was really, really close.
He's running out of time. He's got to go.
Come on, Aloy. No, just, you can see, this is where having the big move at the end really makes it so difficult. Now, I don't want to call it, I don't know, commentator's curse, isn't it, when you say like, oh, he's going to do this, but, you know, I think Charlie could do this next. Aloy was so close, and Charlie's a very quick rider. So
you could be eating your words here. Let's see what happens.
Oh, God. Don't let me down, Charlie.
No break. Cheers. So Aloy goes. So you could just see he almost got this.
So close.
And it's that critical point, isn't it? The rear tyre. You've got to get the axle almost just hopping up and over. He'd have been there.
The thing is all these guys in practice, you know, you could go and roll up to that move and probably, I mean, I know I could, like a lot of us could go straight up that. But once you've done 5 moves already and the clock is ticking, you don't have any recovery time. It's like you got 5 seconds and then you just got to go. That is a whole different ball game. So Charlie, what's he going to do here? Hook, front wheel, no worries for Charlie. Here we go, dropping down. How many seconds has he got? 45 seconds gone so far. So 1 minute 15 remaining. Come on, Charlie. So this is actually tricky because it's pretty close. So normally if you've got a bit of space forwards, it means you can drop the front wheel and generate that forward momentum, but as it's so close, you've got to really just lift straight up. Charlie, yeah, straight into that hook. Look at that, flying over. So, yeah.
So this is just about really trying to get there as fast as possible now to get into that last move. Just coming up slightly off to the side there, wasn't he? Is that a sign just getting maybe a little tired with all these big power moves?
No, he actually doesn't look tired. I think he's actually almost the opposite. He's actually relaxing because he just pushed straight through, so he didn't he didn't keel over to the side or back or anything. He was actually just like, I'm good. I'm just going to let my tyre drop. He's pretty relaxed now. Come on, Charlie. You know you can do this. Come on. Oh.
Attempt 1, 15 seconds left.
15 seconds left. It's hard because it is a short run up as well. Oh, not quite. 8 seconds. Come on, Charlie. As he's got time for one last big try. Come on. No, too much. It's just too much. And a little backward stoppy there.
Close.
Oh, good effort, Charlie, good effort. So 50 points for Charlie. So it's a shame because on that first section he really would have been in the mix.
So good run here by Charlie, trying to recover from that early mistake.
Yeah.
And just a matter of getting in and through. And it shows you that it's just the last section there. And as you said, more a case of just being really relaxed as he comes up and over. And then a bit of showboating at the end. Maybe we're going to see a little bit more of the flamboyance come back. And maybe it's a bit more relaxed. But this is the difference in style, isn't it, between the riders. So here we go.
Absolutely. So Alejandro, let's see how he gets on in section 3. So making his way into this second gate. Very, very technical. You can see the back tyre there sliding all over the place. So it actually looks kind of flat, but when you're there on the back wheel, that rock just slides. I did this exact move yesterday 3 times, and it just slides all over the place. You've got to be absolutely on exactly the right point. Here we go. Building up for this big kicker move, rolling in, big pull, hooking the front wheel up to back tyre. There he goes. Down into the sand. Get himself set up for this next move. So he's moving pretty quickly. He's on good time. Almost as quick as Charlie to this point. So nearly on half his time as he goes up for the 4th gate. Right off that point. He's super solid with those front wheel moves. Alejandro choosing to, instead of we saw Thomas gap off that rock, you can see just down on the floor there, going static from the floor and just throwing that front wheel up and through the markers. So like we said, when you go through the markers, it has to be both axles and the centre line of the bike, and that's what these judges are looking for. And the commentator there with his hand in a fist, every time they touch a pedal, touch part of the bike, or touch their feet, that will literally signify 1 point deducted, and they can have a maximum of 5 points. Hand down, that signifies that you've fallen off the bike, or both feet over one side of the bike and on the floor. That means you completely fail. You have to stop where you are in the section. So here we go. Alejandro, 15 seconds. Can he get it? Oh, he's done it! First one through. Oh, so he's taken a lead for the first time. We've been able to separate the top 4 riders. Just 10 points ahead until Borka takes his run in just a few moments.
So great to watch this run coming in. You can see him up and over, very, very smooth. So precise, there's no landing and then correcting. It's land absolutely spot on and then nailing absolutely everything around here. And you can see those big pull-ups really do suit him. And this really played to his strengths, didn't it? Straight over the top.
So good, eh? So good. After all of those other moves.
So here we go, defending champion out on the course. Remember, this is section 3 of 5. They were tied at the end of the last round. The question is going to be, who can take this out and away? Will this be a lead? Will it be?
Is it going to be Borka? Is he going to be able to get 60? So this is where Alejandro could start edging away. Could start edging away for his first ever World Championship win. He's won the overall World Cup before, won various World Cup rounds, lots of Spanish championships, but never won that rainbow jersey, that ever so elusive coveted rainbow jersey. So here we go. Alejandro is definitely not going to be taking it easy.
So 1 minute done, 1 minute to go. So he's got 1 minute left on the clock, still coming in around here. And Andre, as the defending champion, the pressure was on him coming in, wasn't it? It was, you've got yours to defend.
It's interesting between these 2 Spanish guys. Of course, they compete a lot together, and it's a lot of forward and backwards. And there seems to be a bit of time when Alejandro's dominant, and a bit of time when Borka's dominant. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top on this one, because I don't know. This is going to be interesting. But 28 seconds, he's got given himself a good amount of time to get this move. He is incredibly powerful. I'd say for outright power, he's maybe just a little bit more powerful. Has he got the power endurance to get up this massive hook at the end of the section, starting just off the wood? You can see limited run up. Oh, he's so close. 10 seconds. This could be it. Alejandro could take a slight lead. Come on. No. He's going to go 50, so that's it. Montalvo is ahead after 3 sections, only by 10 points. Hell of a lot to play for. And another 120 points left in the competition over the next 2 sections. So, who knows what could happen. But
I thought you were going to get off that fence of yours then.
No.
So close, man. And I mean, this run, you could see across here, he just didn't quite seem as confident coming into the end. He left it a long time between the 5th and the 6th set of obstacles.
The thing is, you need to do that just to get your breath back, because, of course, if you're going for a 1 rep max in the gym, you have a 5-minute rest period. These guys are talking like 10 seconds, and you're going for a move that is really hot. I mean, that hookup was actually probably the world record only a couple of years ago. That would have been a world record forward hookup. So, you know, that's pretty crazy to be doing that after all of this in the middle of a competition as well.
Samuel Laverty on to his 4th section, the first one where we really see these palm trunks in use. And these palm trunks, they're a fibrous bark on the outside, and that makes it very, very difficult because it's not consistent. It's super grippy in places, but it's also really textured
and also
it
can kind of like pull away as well. So, oh, Samuel, I think he just got 1 on that. Yeah, that is a very... So actually, just going to what I was saying earlier, where it was biased for a right footer, that is the move that's biased for a left footer. So it's going to be slightly easier for the 2 riders that are left footed in this competition. So just to even things out, they've put in one way and one the other. Going for that big side up move. And like you were saying, yeah, it's a very textured kind of wood. So it's very different to what we're used to. And you can see there, he's just slipped backwards. And that's because if you hit it forward, because it's kind of dusty and fibrous material, or material, it just kind of, it can pull back quite easily. So you have to really be on top of it. Here we go.
And he's in last chance saloon. He's on 4 red lights. 1 more, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that is a shame. Samuel's not having the best ride ever, but he's still in the finals. And that's the important bit. That's quite interesting. So I didn't even think of that. He went backwards through that gate. So what he's done there is he actually approached the gate from behind the gate, gone up and then gone backwards, because you don't have to go front axle first. So it makes no difference if you go forward or backwards through a gate. So it means you can be really creative. And that move he's done there is very, very awkward. 17 seconds. Switching straight through, that's another 10 points. And he's on to the last bit. Yeah, that is it. This is a huge move here. Really, really big move to finish.
It's a big move to finish with no time, and he'll know it was running out, so taking the options.
Is that 30 points? 30 points, I believe.
It is indeed 30 points on section 4, so his total score 120 at the moment. And you can just see on this run, because he was on that last chance, one mistake and he's going to be in trouble, but some creative riding as well, which is really important.
Yeah, so you see this move that he just did there, that is super, super technical riding. So his back wheel is really, really low and the front wheel is really high. It makes it very, very steep for the bike. So you have to push the back wheel out underneath you and throw your shoulders straight over the top. So very unnatural movement for most people that ride bikes. And here we go with Thomas Pekaka, the Austrian Oak. Come on, here we go. So big pedal up straight to back wheel, straight over that there. Just going to loop round, approach this. So instead of like side hopping up through to trying to stay on the beam and then go off of it, it's actually sometimes just quicker and more efficient to go straight over, round and loop through. These are what you call open sections. So the section markers are quite open and you just have to go through the gates in the section. You can use any approach you like within that area. So you can see here, he is a right-footed rider. That's an upslope he's taking off of, and he's got to try and throw the front tyre up over the top of that. You can see the 2 markers on the downslope in the middle of your screen there. Try and get the bike underneath it. Now he went to Bashgar and took a 1, but actually for a right-footed rider, that is so tricky. And I think it's going to be very hard to see a right-footed rider clean that move.
And the bash guard is basically underneath where the pedals are, underneath the chain wheel. So it's to stop damage to the base if you do hit into the object.
Yeah.
But by doing that, he stabilised the bike, and that stabilisation was worth giving away one on rather than a failure, to be able to then move on and through, maybe to get a few more points.
So he's lost the points for that one gate, but it's okay. He can carry on and get all the points for the rest of the gates. And yeah, here we go. Let's see if he can get this one here. Very steep hook. Whoa, quick straight through. They've given him a 5. I think his axle must have just missed something there. So he looks like he's stopped at 20 points for that section. That is a shame.
Well, that is going to shake things up as go through, because at the moment we've got Samuel Laverty at 120 points, we've got Thomas at Peckhacker at 160 points. Let's have another look at this, just going to see. Some of these moves he was absolutely superb, and then all of a sudden it just seemed to, the wheels almost fell off there.
The wheels did fall off that bike. Yeah, so you can see here, yeah, there where he switches up his back wheel, clearly over the tape there. That is a really, really tricky move. I actually walked it earlier and I thought, you know, you've got to be so accurate, very, very close to the marker. I think there, speed is your friend. The faster you go forwards and hit it quickly and go, the more likely you are to stay forwards. And he was a little bit slow on the approach. Let's see how Aloy gets on with it. Good pedal up, look at that. Showing his balance and control. Doing very, very well. So, like I said, coming back from a big injury a couple of years ago, and he came back with a lot of motivation, couldn't ride for quite a long time. Oh, yes, Aloy! That is such a tricky pedal up. Oh my God, that's awesome. So keeping that momentum up that beam and then up to back wheel on the top of that is spectacular. And this is interesting here. So he found a sneaky cheat line there. That's where instead of going from the floor, he's seen that you can just kind of sneak around off of a low point. Got to be very accurate, but as you can see, he made it very, very quick. So let's see what you can do on this gate where Thomas unfortunately didn't quite make it. Hooking, yeah, no dramas for Aloy. And looks like he's going to be doing that backwards move. So one little hop to the side and just bringing the centre line of the bike back through. So far, clean on this section. 40 points, he's doing really, really well. For the moment, he is out in first place. Yes, hooking, front to back wheel, staying on the back tyre. What? How did he hold that? Oh, look at this, flying through. He is absolutely quite right. This is the big move. This is the move that we were wondering, can anybody do it? 25 seconds. He's got this and then 2 other sections of this last very... Yes! Oh my God, yes! Yes, Aloy, that is huge. Honestly, absolutely huge. 10 seconds, 60 points. Oh my God, what a legend. Wow. Yes, Aloy.
Well, that has put the cat amongst the pigeons, because that is really going to move him up. 230 points, a perfect score on the way through. He's actually only dropped 10 points in 4 sections. 10 points in 4 sections. That's going to be a very close race. That's so tight. And as all these sections change, you can see this.
Look at that.
He was at home on this, wasn't he?
That was, he nearly held it and turned to the right and went through. Thought, no, I'm going to go round. I've got the time. It's all good. That's amazing. Right, Charlie, come on, buddy. Let's see what he's got. Hopefully he's going to roll in and have a bit of fun here. Come on. Oh, and we've just cut to... Okay, so he nicely floated up that. So he goes. So he's a left-footed rider, so he can put the front wheel to the side there. Space for the pedals to up and around that move. Oh, that was very, very close, because there's actually a pink gate at the bottom of that, so you can't ride along that bottom move.
And he's got one red light up on there, so I'm not quite sure where he clipped that on the way through.
But just clipped his pedal there. Straight through. I think he's decided he's not going to get a podium, he's just going to float around and do his thing. Pretend he's not even in a competition. Come on, Charlie, fly up this. Yeah, no worries. And then this little backwards move as well. There it is. So another 10 points, up to 30 points for Charlie, halfway through his time. So this really tricky overhanging hook. If you saw that from the side, yeah, commissionaire in his way. Yeah, cameraman definitely in the way there.
Yeah, he'll be getting warning off the commentators. I'll warn the cameraman as well as the
it's
riders.
Worse. I've had it when you're like, I'm just going to smash into you if I go now. Here we go. Come on, Charlie. Yes! Yes, he's done it!
Just inside the, you could see
Animal.
that flag was almost just moving as he flipped
good.
it.
Really, really good. Yes.
Over the top. So there we go.
50 points.
Dropped that one little touch on the way through. Maybe we'll get a little rerun of that on the way round. He's like, yeah, not sure. Maybe it was okay, but you know something, I think that's a good run.
I think that sixth gate, getting through that, yeah, this is where it was. He just overbalanced slightly. I think as he went, oh, they didn't show it. That is a shame. But this move here, that's monstrous. That's awesome. Really good, flying through, nearly hitting the cameraman. They're definitely getting a little bit up close. That's not the kind of feature view I want to see.
Right. Super close. Nice. Great to see just the detail as they come in. So here we go, 2 riders to go, and Charlie's going to watch on here as Alejandro goes into this section.
Yeah, so Alejandro, again, look at that, straight in, no messing around. Little bounce the front wheel off onto that and holding his balance very, very nicely. Looks like he's going to go for the fast approach as well. Pedal up again. Oh, yes. That is, honestly, that is such a hard move. They're making it look casual, but it is so difficult.
And seriously fast, isn't he? This is, I
really
mean, look at the clock. We're on 30 seconds, and he's right down at the end of the course. And he's starting to make his way back very shortly. So clearly on a bit of a mission to get into the end with a little bit of time, I think.
Yeah, as you can see, he's so confident with that front wheel technique on the pedal up that with these big rounded edges, he's really good at just bouncing the front tyre and using that momentum to bring the back wheel up a little bit higher, and you force the handlebars forwards. And again, he's really made sure that leaned a little bit to the right, taking the back tyre nice and high. And then here he's just going to go up to back, little hop sideways, just so he goes through that plane of the markers there. And he's got this very awkward hook. 45 seconds left. Lloyd watching closely because he knows he's kind of, as they're all friends and they don't want everybody to go wrong and they train together and everything, but equally Lloyd's going to be watching going, please don't make this, Alejandro.
Well, he's had one bite of the cherry at the moment. He's on second attempt now.
He's struggling. He needs to kick the back wheel out a little bit steeper. If he can get that back wheel a bit steeper. There it is. Yeah, staying on the back tyre. Look at that. Yes. Very nice. Now he's 14 seconds to these last gates. Can he get it? Oh, wow. That was a big move. So quick. 5 seconds.
So close time-wise.
Oh, did he get out? He's made it. That was unreal. 5 seconds in the last move. Madness. He wants to win. Wow.
240 points to Alejandro. Eloy's got 230.
And we've still got Borka to come, who is right in there as well. So that hook up on the previous section, literally like we said, like the 10 points just makes such a difference.
So perfect score for Alejandro at the moment, but he was running so tight that taking 3 goes at that obstacle cost him so much time.
I know.
He had to motor through and just.
But that's the thing with Alejandro. It's like he just clicks into another gear and goes like, oh, I've just got to go fast now. So he just stops playing around. He's like, I've just got to go quick, and just flies. So Borka, left-footed rider, so he can just sneak the front wheel up to the side. Little shunt up 2 wheels, nice and smooth down to the floor. Try not to hit the cameraman on the way. Really quickly working through here. He's going to go for this little sneaky, accurate line there. So it's just a little stump on the side. You can sneak around that marker.
Call it sneaky. It's in the rules, and it's
in the
smart
rules.
riding.
It's sneaky / very clever. And yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of like the kind of like very technical riding. So where I'll look at something and think, yeah, I can spin around that 180 and land on my front wheel. And everybody else is like, I don't get how that works, you know. But it's good. You've got to work these sections to your strengths, you know. And yes, no worries. So he's gone through that nice and straight. Halfway through his time, 40 points, 2 gates left. Come on, Borka. Let's see if he's got this awkward hook. You saw the other guy, you just saw Montalvo struggling with a little bit. Here we go. Oh yeah, straight, pinning the front wheel on the top.
And it gives him 40 seconds left, just under 40 seconds to go. So he's got plenty of time, saving a lot of time because of that.
So looks like this could come down to the last section as well.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens on that last section, because it really is a combination of everything put together. We will see who's got that. Let's see what he can do. Oh!
And that's it. He's got a point. There's no point in carrying on because you can't get the points to the last gate. He's going to be a bit annoyed with that. But 50 points. So 240, 230, 220 at the top of the leaderboard so far.
Let's see what this is going to do. It's going to have that jumble. Here we go. So 220 for the defending champion. And he was so quick. It looked so good. Did he almost just take his foot off the gas?
Well, he overpowered the back wheel. So basically, it's like looping out. So the back wheel just flies out underneath. And because obviously there's nothing underneath it, it's just boom, straight underneath. It's all about timing with trials. So you have to get the power in the pedals, the rotations, and then lift at the right time. And if you're a split second too late, the back wheel flies out underneath, especially when it gets to these really big moves like this. So here we go. We've got Samuel Laverty starting section 5, the last section of the finals here. Let's see how he gets on. Now this is a very, very different element. This could really, really change everything, because you've got water, sand, brakes that don't work, no grip on your tyres. Tricky, awkward movements over these rocks.
Apart from all that, it's a piece of cake, really.
Yeah, other than that, you know, no drama.
No dramas. Well, let's see if we get a drama out of Samuel Laverty. He's in 6th position. He'll be looking to try and move up into the top 5. And still plenty of opportunity for people to make mistakes and drop points in here. And the water absolutely pouring back off the back wheel of the bike, just trying to keep everything clear of the sand, minimise the contact, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he went through the water with the front wheel out of the water, just to keep that, like, you know, the minimal amount of sand and keep that front brake working as much as possible. Because you can see there, he's got a rear disc and a front rim brake. Rim brakes just don't work as well as disc. Oh no, just overbalanced to the right. Oh, Samuel. Still, finalist at the World Championship is pretty epic. Team Slovakia should be very proud of him.
Well, he stands up there almost as tall as the nation's tower, behind the bike down on the sand, and that's his competition done. It is going to be a 6th place today for Samuel Laverty in theory, but I think that's going to be in practice. Realistically, there's no way that we're not going to see Thomas Beckhacker get at least a few points on the way through this next section. We should keep him just inside that top 5. So good run, but just a mistake up on the rocks. And if you've not seen the women's competition, we're not going to give you any spoilers. Make sure you watch it, because it's absolutely superb, particularly building into its climax towards the end of the competition. And then we're seeing the same here once again. Great course design that really has ramped up the pressure as we've gone through the competition. Yeah,
it's very, very different to a lot of the World Cups and World Championships we've had for the past like 3, 4, even 5 years. So I think here, personally, my personal opinion is it's a lot more varied in what we're riding, which really shows which riders have the best all-round ability. It's not just power, it's not just technical. It's really a bit of everything that is trials, and a lot more kind of old school, if you like. And this section here is a lot more of a kind of old school styled section. God, you can see Thomas there. He's actually, you might think it's water, but it's actually just sweat, because it is boiling here in Abu Dhabi, of course. And these guys are melting. Last night we were riding 4 hours of competition yesterday, so absolutely boiling here.
You've got to get those fluids back on board, or we might joke about the amount of water that's out in the pond there, out in the little lagoon. But actually, it's more importantly, it's
Thomas. Oh no! So he's not going to be happy with that. Not going to be happy with that. But it shows how slippery these rocks are, because he's trying to get himself set up. So he's going to go to back wheel, and actually this next move, tiny little point there. You see the tyres just sliding. If you're not really far forwards on that, tyres just slide it back.
commentator's curse could have almost been in effect there. So it's going to be 180 points there for Thomas Peckhacker coming through, scoring 20 points in that section. So stays up ahead. We're going to see if he's going to make the top. He should do. Should be in there. Will he get top 4? Can he make it any higher?
I get the feeling that Charlie Rolls will probably get more than 10 points in this. So I would say that you know.
I'm going to touch wood very quickly that we see a long run through here. We're not seeing people get round to turn at the end of the section. We're coming in through, up over the boat, coming through the water and into the sand. And it's that mix, isn't it? It's that, that complete composite of the water, the
see
sand,
the back tire there and the slow-mo flying off. Because that's actually, it looks quite wide, that rock, but it's really thin. You have to land in exactly the right place, slightly to the left-hand side. And also, like we were saying, you have to go fast, because it's long sections, it's a lot of gates, a lot of moves. But if you're trying to move fast and you have low grip, then you're going to put your tyre in slightly the wrong place, that's it. You're gone. You're going to slide off and you're going to lose all your points. So Aloy now knows he has to have a very solid ride on this section. He's got to move quickly and solidly in order to keep the pressure on that he can stay ahead and let them make a mistake. So looking for all these little points. Oh, look at that. He's just absolutely flown through it. Yeah, no messing about at all.
Like it wasn't there, but you saw the depth of the sand as he landed there, that front wheel planted down in, and just, I don't think he really even needed his brake on there, he just came to a standstill.
Okay, so this move here is so difficult. I've seen 4 different ways of people trying this. We had this in the semi-finals, and that was awesome, because the rock that he's come off to set up on is actually such a slope on the back wheel. So you've got to throw your weight into it and move before it slides. 2 more gates to go, 40 seconds. Yes, Aloy, come on. Keep the pressure on. Now, 2 last moves. Little move, and he's going to drop down to a rock in front of him. He can't quite see it, it's just below the screen there. Well, he's going straight across the front, 60 points. Woo!
Get in there.
Yes, Aloy.
Look at that, he's absolutely cleaned it. He has dropped 10 points.
Missed 1 gate in the whole competition.
Across the competition. What a result. That is some going, and
stunning
what
riding.
A move there.
Now, the pressure is really on. Alejandro knows now that he's got to finish on 60. He has to finish on 60. If he doesn't, he's going to give away another World Championship title again, which I'm sure he doesn't want to do. But Aloy, he's been so close.
So it's so close on points. When we get to the end, it then goes back to the position in the semi-final.
Absolutely, yeah.
And in the semi-final, just to remind people, we had Aloy finishing at 3 positions ahead. Sorry, 3 positions behind Borja. So it's all going to come down to who finishes where, if they're on the same points. But it means that it's going to come down to these moves. It's what can they deliver?
We've got 3 more riders to go. I mean, Charlie, I think, I'm kind of hoping Charlie does quite well on this section, because this is much more like he rides back in England. Basically rain, slippery, horrible rocks.
You're trying to say it rains a lot and the rocks are slippery.
Yeah, we were out training in Spain. It was nice and sunny and warm, and then I saw the videos of him training on kind of green, slippery, horrible rocks. So look at that. You see, and that is why. It's why on this he's so good.
And straight to the rocks as well on the way down, so he didn't dive into the sand. So
and again, he's got a minute left as well. Look, he's rapid on this. He's got a good amount of time. A different approach. He's gone for the pedal up through the sand. And how do you pedal up through sand? I don't know. Ask Charlie. Right, getting that power from that run up. No idea how he's done it. Come on, Charlie. 44 seconds left to get these last 2 gates. Similar, or maybe just a bit quicker than Aloy previously. Hooking the front wheel. Not a lot of grip there at all. Yes, and the back tyre dropping down. So he has 1 last gate. He wants to get 60 points. Getting the crowd going. Come on, Charlie. That's it. That's what we like. Bit of noise. Huge gap to front. Oh! It was so close. So close. Come on, Charlie. 5 seconds. He's not going to do it. He knows it's not going to make a difference to the result. He was so close.
50 points though. Good score. Just that last gap.
He's
not
showing
quite
that
making
he's really up there. but he's going to finish in 4th place. So it's going to be a clean sweep for Team Spain on the podium now.
Who's going to be wearing those medals in what order? Who's going to get that rainbow jersey? Exactly. It's not going to be Charlie Rolls. A really flamboyant display, even winding the crowd up towards the end as he went through, and he's got to regret missing out on that gate on the very first section.
Like we saw with Vera as well earlier on, you know, like you make a little mistake and then
you can be in trouble, and it's going to put real pressure on. You'll have to watch the women's to find out, was she able to make it come and the comeback on the way through. Make sure you give it a watch. Absolutely astounding to see the women, and there was drama all over the place, just like we've seen here today in the men's. This, the very final section, and now we're into our last 2 riders.
Okay, Alejandro Montalvo, so far he's clean. He knows he needs to finish on 60 points. If he gets 60, that's it. He's going to be world champion. So the pressure is on to stay completely steady and solid as he moves through this. Come on, Alejandro. A lot of concentration. Needs to hang around, but not too much. Oh, oh! Oh no! 20 points. 20 points, so far. Oh, that means Eloy has jumped into 1st place for the time being with just Borja that could possibly throw him off the top.
Absolutely gutted, isn't he?
Alejandro, that's unbelievable. I'm really, really sad for Alejandro there, because
it was that section, as you said, you went up and the wheel slipped sideways. And look at the reaction that we're going to see, what we're going to see. So Borja Cornell has just got himself a chance at now going into either a gold or silver medal position. At the moment, Eloy, well, he is going to be in with either gold or silver here.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be world champion or silver, and he's got to be pleased with that. Question is, will it be top spot? So Alejandro, silver medalist last year to Borja.
If Borja can make 60 points,
here we go.
Actually, no. Borja can't. Borja needs. He can't win. Borja can't win, even if he makes 60. That's it. Borja's going to be 2nd or 3rd.
Which means it is going to be the World Championship, isn't it? So that was one point.
Eloy.
Wow. And it came down to those points, hasn't it? So this is almost now going to be about salvaging some pride. He may not be able to defend it, but he could be in with another medal. He's not going to give it away, is he?
No, absolutely not. I think he's going to be going, well, 2nd place is still very insanely impressive. Just to make the final here in the World Championships. People train their entire lives, never even make a semi-final, so to be here riding the finals is absolutely incredible. Come on,
this is that move.
Yes. Sailing through. Come on. 49 seconds left, halfway through the section.
So he's currently behind Montalvo. He's got to keep pushing here.
Yeah, he needs another 10, 20. Oh, just. So he's got to get through 4B there. There he's through.
He's not hanging around. He's got 25 seconds to go.
He needs this gate. He needs this gate to jump on the thing. Slipped, it's gone. 40 points. Now I believe that's going to go back to count back. Does that mean, both on 260. If it goes back to the previous, then it will be Borja in 2nd. But for the moment, our scores are showing us Alejandro is 2nd, and Eloy is our new world champion. Wow. Absolutely incredible. Incredible riding there from all of our riders.
I don't think he can quite believe that his championship has just ended there with that, because that move cost him, and it's cost him, and it's all come down to the very final sections, hasn't it? And it's come down. This is the medal.
You can see how slippery the rocks are. It just shows you, like, you're slightly wrong. It looked like he was in the right place to me, and it's gone.
So it came down to the finest of margins here, and I think there's still a little bit of disbelief in here as Eloy Palau becomes our 2022 UCI Trials World Champion in the men's 20-inch elite. Behind it is, we get this down as being Borja in 2nd place with Alejandro in 3rd. That is subject to confirmation, because of course that is all got to be checked and ratified by the commissaire team, the race referees here. But look at this, I mean, superb riding by all of the competitors, but
incredible. But Eloy really winning it on that last final move. That was super exciting. And this move here, huge gap, pinning the front wheel. Absolutely awesome riding there by Lau. I'm absolutely made up for him being world champion like that. He fully deserves it. Fantastic riding. I mean, to come back, like I said, he had a really bad. He quite literally got blown up.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it as a route to get into a world championship title for anybody by any stretch of the imagination. If you see something out there out and riding, don't mess back. Now here we go. Confirmed for the points on there with Eloy up at the top of the standings, and it is going to come down to those final points. We're just going to get that double checked on the way through. That's what the timing systems are saying. A bit further down from the top three, Charlie Rolls in fourth place, then brought us right in to the finale from this really technical gap jump right on the very first sections. You could see that he really meant business and gave it a real almost perfect run. I mean, dropping
look at this,
literally 10 points. I mean, that is astounding, and you could say a very worthy winner on a course that showed all the skills that you need.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a very well-rounded course. There was a lot of different moves, and it shows that these guys have been training in all the right ways. And especially that last section, just the mixture of water and sand. It's pretty much the worst, a trials rider's nightmare. But yeah, it really means that you have to be so accurate all the time.
Well, what a great run here today, and you can just see an astounding move as it goes up over the top.
Incredible riding. Well done, Eloy.
So a man who did an astounding job out on the course. Let's catch up with our 2022 world champion.
What a final to become UCI World Champion here in Abu Dhabi. How are you feeling right now?
Honestly, I'm just like flying, or I never had this feeling before. It's amazing. It's the thing that you work years and years, and someday maybe yes, maybe not, you can achieve it. So yeah, it's crazy. It's I don't know. I'm feeling super excited and super good.
You were waiting for two more of your teammates to finish the section to know if you had won the champion or not. Your reaction after Alejandro fell was priceless. Can you talk us through, please?
Yeah, because the amount of pressure that you feel when you're doing these type of competitions, it's so hard. So if Alejandro did 40, more than 40, he would be the winner. So at the time, it was an easy section, but and at the time that he failed, so it was like, oh my God, this is really happening. So crazy.
And finally, Alejandro, what does it mean to be a world champion?
To be a world champion, it's a dream come true. It's what you aspire when you start competing. So yeah, it's really a dream come true. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, great to hear from Eloy there.
We have created a lake where water plays an important role, also the sun. This is the 5th section, will be decisive to know the new world champions.
Well, as you can see, we have a talented panel of commissaires. Commissaires are basically the referees, the officials who are charged with making sure that everybody not only adheres to the rules, but also with making sure everybody goes through the sections. They have to go in and through between the two markers. Each gate, the entry and exit point, has to be passed through by the bike, and it's an incredibly tough job. It's a job I certainly wouldn't want to do. I'm sure Andre is probably the same view here today.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a pretty tough job, and these guys really know what they're doing, and they watch incredibly closely all of these riders. So here we go, we've got the start list. Starting with in 6th place from the qualification will be Oliver Widman, then Noah Cordona, Danny Baron, Marty Vierda, Vincent Hermant and Jack Carthy qualifying in first place. So they're going to come out. The first rider out will be Oliver Widman.
In fact, we're going to have a little bit of changeover on the order by the looks of it here. So here we go. It is going to be a little bit of a change around on the order, and that is going to be Marty who's going to take the start first. So Marty up on to the stage here.
Yep, so Marty Vierda from Team Spain. He's a really, really good young and up-and-coming rider. Himself and Danny Baron really, really pushing it for Team Spain. They were second and third in the last World Cup. So yeah, they were second and third place in the last World Cup. And then next up we have Oliver Widman from Germany, who's been pushing himself really, really hard. Stoked for him to be in the finals here. We've been training quite a lot together. Captain Smooth, they call him, because he is seriously smooth. Wait until you see him. All right then, look at him getting his zen on there. Absolutely getting his zen on. This is fantastic. Good luck, Ollie. I hope he does really, really, really well.
That mental preparation is key, isn't it, here, Andre? I mean, you're being called onto the stage, you're being hyped up to the crowd. So we see our next rider from France up here.
Noah Cordona, very, very powerful rider. This guy has got some seriously big moves on him. I've seen him training. He's from Montpellier, down in the south of France. And yeah, he's had some fantastic results. I think he's going to be fighting for a podium position here.
Well, that's it. I love your predictions early on. This is great to see. I'm not going to put my name to any of them on the way through. I'm going to rely on your expertise. But we can see it's not just Spain with strength in depth, because France is next rider on stage.
Yep, so we've got Vincent Hermant. Vincent is one of the only rider that is actually older than me on the course. And he's 38 at the moment, and he's been in, I think, pretty much every final in the World Championships. And he's 3 times former world champion as well. So not just a one lucky win, he's literally dominated the field. He's been multiple World Cup winner and French champion as well. Then next up, we have our second qualified rider from the semi-finals, all the way from Spain, Daniel Baron, coming up onto the stage. Danny and Marty have been pushing each other and training hard together. And like I said, he's had second in the World Cups. He'll be hoping that he can, well, maybe Jack will make a mistake, or maybe he can just outride Jack and bring it in, bring that jersey back to Spain.
And that means there is just one more rider to bring up, somebody who has won the title 4 out of the last 5 years, also a bronze medalist.
4 years, he lost it once to Sergio Longueras, actually.
Yeah, four in the last 5, yeah.
Yeah. He very, very narrowly missed it out there in Chengdu. So Jack Carthy just going for his 5th world title, which will mean he's won it more times than any other 26-inch elite rider in history if he wins his 5th title here today. So a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah, I'm glad he can't hear you and just ramping it up, although I'm sure everybody's reminded.
He said his goal is a minimum 10 for his career, so, you know, he's setting his sights high.
That's some statement. That is some statement.
I mean, yeah, he is one of the few people you can see make a huge mistake and really fight his way back. Seen some outriding performances from him. The guy is a different kettle of fish. So, but these guys, I mean, Vincent is incredible, very experienced, really powerful. On these sections, I really think it's quite an open stage though, because it's going to be quite easy. If you make a slight mistake, I actually think Jack's going to be under more pressure than if it was, you know, if it was a higher score or a lower scoring round as such. You know, he's going to be under so much pressure, and he's going out last. So if everybody's kind of like on high marks in front of him, he's going to be under so much pressure to not make a mistake on these little on moves that he might think, it's not too bad, but you know, he's got to really, really concentrate. He's got to dig in. So these guys are just walking the course. Before, earlier on this morning, they will have walked through, looked at all of the gates, got it all in their head, and then before they start competing, they just have a little walkthrough of each section. And as they progress through the course, as one rider's riding this one, the others will be looking at the next one, preparing themselves for the next section. So you've got to have a really good mental map of what's going on.
Interestingly, the one rider who's not doing that is Jack. Jack Carthy from Great Britain rolling around the sides there, not taking the look at the course, just pulling the moves down the side, keeping
there's
warmed
two
upon the
reasons for
bike.
that. One, Jack will have such a mental map of this, he'll know every centimetre of every single beam. So he'll have every option and possibility planned out. He's very, very methodical, but also he's out last. So he's going to get to watch all the other riders go through, and if they make any mistakes, he'll know where they are. He'll be paying attention to everything. But also, this guy trains like 4 times a day. So you know, he's going to be riding so much each day that, you know, he knows what he's doing. He wants to stay really warm. For throughout this competition, he's going to be riding in between each section, really trying to stay warm because he works on a high body temperature.
Well, he's going to get that here today. The temperature here in Abu Dhabi might drop, but we're still in the 30s here as we set off. So here we go, Marty on to the course for Spain, the first rider to take to the first distance. Remember, we have 5 sections to go. The maximum score on the way through of 60 in each section. Maximum points score a total of 300. It'll be tough to achieve.
Yeah, so this will be very interesting to see. You can see he was going to go for the gap straight across, just decided to drop down. You can see the sand there flying off of his tyres. It's really, it's a little bit like more damp in the evening as well. Kind of sticks to your tyres a little bit more than it does during the day. It's still incredibly warm, like you're saying out there. So it's still quite a big challenge. Just bring the sand up onto here. Now, the first really, really tricky move of the competition. We saw a couple of 20-inch riders earlier on attempt this one. So here we go. Marty lining up. Huge gap. Now the landing is at kind of a 45-degree angle from the takeoff and serious slope a long way across, but Marty Vieira making it look very straightforward. That is really, really impressive. Very, very long gap that. So here we go. He's going to have to try and stay as steady as possible on the back wheel. Line up dead centre of that pipe on the floor. Side up to the back tyre. And lining his way up. Now on a 26-inch bike compared to the 20s, it's much, much harder to try and keep those axles between all of the gates as you're moving through, so they can't swing the front wheel or back wheel around those markers. The axles have to go dead straight through the markers, and you can see the commissaires there just watching every little bit to make sure, yep, his axle's gone through, yep, the centre line of the bike has gone through. So here we go, he's on 50 points, he's got 8 seconds to get out at the end. Pushing to the front tyre. Marty, first rider out, 60 points, but Marty Vieira.
So full marks there on this run through, doing a great job, and very much going to be an interesting battle as this moves on. But he set that marker down, and we're not going to give you an exposure if you haven't watched 20 inch. You're just joining us here at the Urban World Championships. This has been a tough course. It has challenged the riders in all of the categories in the trials competition here, and a great run to start us off here. Andre looked like he had this basically totally under control, nothing really that phased him at all. Yeah,
I'd say that was a pretty much perfect run. I mean, like he has been third in the last, I think it was the last World Cup in Vic, or not the last, the one before in Vic in Spain. The same organisers as this competition here, and he was third on the podium there. And here we go, Oliver Woodman starts his attack on the World Championships final here in Abu Dhabi, the Urban Cycling World Championships. And here we go, he's lining up for the first major move. So 20 points so far through the first 2 gates. He's going to switch up to his back tyre, going to get really focused, really push as hard as possible. Come on, Oliver, here we go. Oh, so smooth. Ah, yes. That is why they call him Captain Smooth. Here we go.
See, he was focused on that. The eyes were just laser beams into the top, into that landing.
Absolutely. He rides incredibly focused. Yes. Just to try and keep those nerves down. Riding really solid on his Kruker's bike there. Up on the back tyre. Yes. He's got to move fast and smooth. Oh, very nice.
And he kept that momentum going, didn't he?
Yeah, he's flying through. He's got 30 seconds left. He's not even having a rest. Up to back tyre. Front to back switching. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, he nearly lost the point at the end there.
That was so
20 seconds
close.
left. I don't know why he rushed so much at the end, because he actually had loads and loads of time.
He smashed through that run back, didn't he? He was on a roll, and he just kind of kept that momentum going, but then it nearly cost him as he came off the top of that last pillar. That really got close, because he came off sideways. He could have lost that
exactly.
point.
So if his axle was slightly further back when he came off sideways, that would have been 5 points. He would have lost, or he would have lost the 10 points in the last gate. So yeah, very lucky there to stay on that. Look at that focus. Absolutely inch perfect.
And having to hop his way
hopping
back
through the sand at the finish, yeah, because you can't pedal, you just get no traction. You just have to power through. So Noah Cordona for Team France, all the way over from Montpellier, so he's pretty much used to this heat. This is pretty much what he trains in every day over there. Big gap down onto that post. Nice and accurate. Moving very swiftly through the sectors of this first section here. Front wheel up. So he is known for being incredibly powerful. I've trained with him again, like all over the place, and he's done some huge moves. This guy has got some power. So here we go. Getting himself in the right zone. Here we go. Come on, Noah. Big burst of power. Look at that. He made that look so straightforward. Apart from the look on his face, it was the only thing that gave it away that it was actually pretty difficult. He looked quite worried there, but his body would suggest otherwise. So much power in those legs. Here we go. Dead center on the back tire. If you look at it down there. Yeah, keeping that front wheel really close to that pillar to keep the front axle in as he moves up. Flipping the front wheel. Putting that front wheel nice and close through there. Now he's got to keep moving. He's got 30 seconds left. So he needs to keep moving. 25 seconds. So Oliver was out the end by this point. So he's really got to get moving. That's it for 50 points. 13 seconds. Here he goes. Come on. Come on, Noah. Got to get moving. You can't mess about. Has he made it? Have they given it to him? Nope. He says no. They've given him 50. He did get out the end on time.
Yep, they're showing the stopwatch there, so the confirmation, you can't argue with the clock there. Well, I'm sure he could, but he's not going to be able to. And this gap jump here, there's a big difference, isn't there? But because a 26-inch wheel bike, so close to the edge. That 26-inch bike is longer, isn't it? So there's a little bit easier to span the gap to get across the gap jump, but it's a downside elsewhere. Yeah, well, the downside is actually that it doesn't necessarily help so much with gaps. It depends on the actual individual gap, because although the bike's longer, it means that the handlebars are further forwards. So you can only actually reach your hands so far forward. So if it's longer, the back wheel technically would be further back. Depends on an individual person's body's makeup. So here we go. Vincent Amant's one of them, well, by far the most experienced rider, I would say, out there on the field right now. So yeah, he was third in 2021 over in Vic at the World Championships, the last World Championships. So this guy is super consistent, always in the finals. And recently just had a baby as well this year with Perrin, who is one of the top female riders as well. She'll be hopefully back to riding soon. And here we go, nice and accurate. Now Vincent making that gap look very commonplace, super confident. Still riding incredibly well. There we go, lining up now. How's he doing for time? 40 seconds roughly left. So he's going to need to get a bit of a move on now. So this next bit, you've really got to keep moving. This is where it gets kind of tricky, because actually it's pretty tiring. All the time you're on the brakes, constantly moving, constantly trying to control that balance, control the bike. So he's on 40 points, 20 seconds left. Is it going to be enough to try and get a full 60 points? Here we go, back wheel, down. Here we go, he's got 8 seconds, come on. You can hear Perrin in the background, who is also his coach. Just pushing him, come on, up to back tyre, oh! No,
is going to be 50 points for Vincent, but it's only 10 points off, so all to play for. So we've got Oliver Widman and Marty Vieira so far on 60 points, Vincent and Noah Cordona on 50 points. So here we go, we have Danny Baron, followed by Jack Carthy next.
So 2 more riders to go. Great run here, but ran out of time. And interestingly, it was our first 2 starters that scored perfect scores on the way through there. And is that because the course is going to, because of the sand, is it deteriorating or is it just suiting them?
I just think it's suiting them, and it's also a bit of confidence as well. I think they've gone out and gone like, do you know what, I'm not going to hang around. So they've just kind of gone, right, I'm just going to attack it. You know, they've got nothing to lose. So I think that's a bit of their mentality. But Danny Baron, I think we're going to see him move very, very quickly. He's really known for moving fast through sections. He's really, really fit. Still really young as well. Got a long career ahead of him. So let's see how he gets on. Can he nail this absolute whopper of a gap? So, lining up.
So you just see Jack Carthy watching on here. He's going to be following through. He's watching every single move, isn't he?
Like I said, that's why he wasn't. That's why he wasn't walking earlier, because he watches when they ride. He knows what he's doing.
He's been in this position plenty of times before, hasn't he?
Yeah. Considering Jack's just 25.
Scary. He deserves to be older the amount of title he's taken and how well he's ready. But he's up against it because we are seeing some pace with 40 seconds on the clock still, 30 points in the bag. But we see mistakes on here, and it is easy to get this wrong. They are so slippery as you come here. One wrong misplace, and it could all be over. But so he's going to get in and through this first section. And let's see how tight those scores are at the end.
Oh, here we go. So that's 40 points so far. He's got 17 seconds. Oh, sorry, 50 points last gate. I think he's going to get this. Come on. Switch to back. Pin that front wheel. Oh, the front wheel just slid. Had a bit of a tumble. Is he all right? He's gone straight into the concrete onto his back there. And his dad's just run over to make sure he's okay.
He landed onto that pit, so as he came off, you can see that green pillar behind that just served as the take-up point to see here.
So his front wheel, he's pinned it. The thing is there, so what he's done is he's pinned it, and then to try and get to give more space for the back wheel, he let the front brake out slightly and then pulled it again. And because he's not on the edge of it, he's actually on the top of it at that point. When you pull the brake, it's just slid forwards. So he's lost friction. So 50 points. So 2 riders so far on 60 points. Let's see what Jack can do already through the first gate. And he knows that he needs 60 points on this. Let's see how he does. Now, he's going to be under a lot of pressure to not go wrong here. This is interesting. I thought he would have tried and gone straight through for the gap. Up to back wheel. Straight across. All right, here we go. Hold it together, Jack. Come on. So, the big gap. I would think for Jack this should be pretty good. He's looking, dare I say it, slightly nervous. But, come on, Jack. Very focused. No worries, staying on the back tyre all the way through. So 58 seconds left. He's on 30 points, he's halfway through. Pedal up technique along that beam, nice and smooth. Here we go, yes. Back tyre, 1, 2, 3, yes. Here we go, he's checking the time as he's going through. Keeping a good checks as he goes through. Gate number 5, I think he's timed that perfectly well to get there set for the last gate. Knows that he's got enough time to get this last section, last gate of the section. And like I said earlier on, it's actually quite close for the front wheel. Yeah, no worries for Jack. Out with 10 seconds left.
And popped his way off there, didn't he? He didn't even bother touching the sand. Straight through. He's absolutely pumped with that. Love that on his way in and through.
I think he timed that very well. Very well indeed. So, 3 riders all on 60 points. So a little quick look back at Jack's run there.
see the tyre deforming as it lands on top of the pillar on the very crest there.
Yeah, so quite often we get people saying, like, oh, your tyres look really flat, but actually they're not really that flat. It's just the fact that we're riding on little tiny points. So of course, instead of the pressure being spread out over, especially 2 wheels and on flat floor, we're on 1 wheel and on a tiny point. So it compresses in. So all of these tyres and bikes, everything is specific for trials. So the sidewalls on these tyres are super, super thick. So they massively reduce the risk of pinch flats. So hopefully you don't get so many punches.
So here we go, next rider out and on to section 2, so very first rider. So Marty very quickly in 10 points on the scoreboard already. Let's see how it goes on this, Andre. He's got to really keep this together, but he did a great first section, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He was riding really, really well. He knows that on this kind of course, if he keeps his head together, I think he's capable of a very, very good result. Now that move there, you can't see from this angle, but from the other side, that rock is like a couple of centimetres wide. So you have to be absolutely perfect on the top of that. Absolutely perfect tyre placement. And Marty flying through gate 3 as well, onto this really tricky gate 4. So he's going to be going up to back wheel on this upslope rock at the bottom, throwing his way over to the left-hand side. See Jack closely watching there in the background as well. Back wheel. Oh no, Marty! Oh, that just shows just how easy it is. Just a slight misplacement of the front tyre. That is such a shame for Marty there. Oh, mate, feel for him there.
You can just see landing heavily there, just putting the bar plug back in the end of the handlebar. There, all the ends of the handlebars are plugged up.
Yeah,
you can have a really nasty injury if you
get
that
in you.
You
know what, I used to ride about bar ends, and after seeing the crashes yesterday on this rock section, and there was like Julian Sainz, who was second in the World Championships last year. He fell yesterday really badly, and if he didn't have bar ends in, it could have been even worse. He had to retire, unfortunately, because it was badly injured enough. So here we go. Oliver Widman starts section 2, hitting that front tyre on the first gate. Riding round. This is a big overhanging pedal up. What you can't see from this angle is actually it's undercut on the other side. So it's kind of shoulder height, about 1m45, 1m50 high. Straight into the centre line of that rock. Saw a couple of people in the semi-finals just flying off the side of that rock. Not a lot of grip. It's been very, very, very accurate. Here we go. So front tyre. There we go. You can see from this angle, he's got to get, as he switches up through here, just watch his tyres. He's got to be absolutely inch perfect on this. He's got to just shunt onto that and then drop straight through. Nicely done, Ollie. Smooth as you like. Here we go. Another hook, putting that front tyre right over. Light work of that gate. 30 points so far on this section. Now, if he gets over this, he will overtake Marty so far. Up to back wheel. Puts his front wheel over. Now, he's a left-footed rider. So, as you can see, he's put his foot down. He's just trying to compose himself,
there was a little bit of a move of the foot there, wasn't it? You're not meant to move that. Would get penalised. That is on 2 red lights now.
You can move the foot, but you can't lift it and put it back down again. So you can see on 2 red lights. So the first one's where he hit his pedal. The second one was where he put his foot down. He can twist or slide the foot slightly if he's kind of controlling his balance. But if you lift it, put it back down again, you get another point. So here we go, 40 points. So he's overtaken Marty Vieda so far. 10 points ahead of him there. Oh, and he's flown on that last rock. Oh, Oliver, that's huge. Huge. This guy's an animal. Come on, Ollie.
I think he's ruined that foot down, though, isn't he? Because he's pleased he got it back afterwards, and he's got right the way through the section. They're only dropping. Only a few points, they're only dropping 10 points. He goes into the lead, so it's 110 points in total. He's got Marty behind him on 90 points, but still 4 riders to go. And here we go. Widman up on to the top, very smoothly over there. But you can just see just how much power he's having to put into this.
Yeah, so he's got a really, really cool style. He's got what we call a 20-inch style, a 20-inch technique. So when he pedals at something, he basically compresses at the last moment, and all the power comes from the last quarter of a pedal stroke. So as his good foot comes in, he lifts and drives with it all at the same time. Whereas most of these other riders, especially Noah, you'll notice he actually lifts half a pedal stroke earlier just there. He lifts half a pedal stroke earlier. It's a completely different technique. So it's a very different way of riding. Most riders can do a degree of both, but they'll definitely have one favoured technique. And of course, on a 26-inch, you're going to use that technique more. Yeah, you can see that absolutely spot on onto that tiny little piece of rock. So here we go. Noah needs to try and get as many points as he can in this section after missing the last 10 points in the first section. Here we go. And we're also through to gate number 3. Let's see if he can get it. Now he's right-footed, so it's a little bit nicer for him. Here we go. From Montpellier, has he got it? Oh, just overshooting it. Now it's really interesting that we saw that it was difficult for a left-footed rider, but I kind of thought he would get through that. But just sliding out. So 2 points, that's okay. He's only lost 10 points.
So scoring 30 points at the moment. He's got to keep on scoring. He's got to keep on moving. He wants to overtake Widman. 110 points for Widman.
Yeah, so if he can just hold that there. Yep, switch the bag, and then he's got this one last huge move. This is really, really high. Don't think you can tell on your screens at home, but this is such a huge pedal up. The bottom of that rock where his back tyres landing is literally the height of my shoulder. It is massive. So 50 points for Noah Cordona there, so he's just behind Oliver Widman, just by 10 points. Fantastic ride in there from Noah Cordona. Just that one gate number 4, giving everybody, sorry, gate number 3, giving everybody a bit of a headache so far. Be interesting to see how these next guys get on with it.
Yeah, and you can just see the frustration creeping in. So it's all about keeping your cool, but maybe it's time for an experienced head.
Here we go, talking about experienced. One very experienced person is Vincent Hermance, who has been at the top of the trials game for eternity, I think.
It just feels like it's time to get an old mate.
I think when I started riding, he was already world champion, actually. Here we go, back wheel and across. All right, so, come on, Vincent. Really experienced, really, really strong rider. It's really quite incredible that he's managed to keep up with this kind of new school as the sport's evolved and changed over the years. He's changed his techniques and styles, managed to keep up with how the sections are built now. Perfectly up onto the points.
His first medal.
3, there we go.
There we go, first medal back in Leger at 2004.
2004 UCI.
So that shows you the UCI World Championships
18 years ago. There you go. Here it is. Oh, look at that! Now that's experience. He felt the front tyre sliding and just lifted straight away. Just instant reaction. That is experience. Just like, go. He knew his momentum was forwards. He's just got to lift and get through it. Really swift front to back through the first part of gate 5. Now this is 5B. So actually, although you see these little tags, each one is labelled. It can be 1A, 1B, 1C, or it can be just one. So he's gone through 5A, which is the rock before, and then this rock is 5B. He has to complete both without putting feet down before he gets the points. Oh, yes. Well done, Vincent. Big move there. All right, last move. 20 seconds left. I think he can get this. Come on, Vince. Big move. Yes, straight up on top. Muscles it through. 10 seconds left. Another 60 points for Vincent. So for the time being, he jumps just ahead of Oliver Widman. Nothing in it so far between those two.
So with 4 competitors through, 20 points separates first to 4th place, and a great run here by Vincent, and that experience showing us it all started to go a little bit wrong for him. It was an instant reaction, wasn't it?
Absolutely instant reaction. I mean, to have that kind of reaction does take time to build up. And next up, we've got Jack Carthy in just a second. He's going to start his, oh sorry, Danny Baron is coming in next. So let's see what Daniel Baron could do. To stay in contention, he's going to really want to try and get that full 60 points.
Already dropping 10 points on section number 1, so
Exactly.
he's got to get it in here. He's got to make this count all the way. He won't want to drift any further off from that lead.
No, absolutely not. I mean, really, in the last 3 years, this guy has just improved his riding so much. It's unbelievable. And of course, his sister was also has been world champion from last year. So Vera competing in the women's category as well, and they train together and push each other all the time. Great influence on each other.
Yeah, I bet that's a real interesting family dynamic between the pair of them.
You've got to think the family gets a bit annoyed with bikes, do you know what I mean?
I bet the dining room
Here we go,
table
come on,
sees-
Danny.
Oh!
Oh, he was so close. That was a really interesting way of doing it as well, throwing his bike round to the left to try and keep the pedal high. Nearly made it, but so now he's going to be aiming for the 50 points. He's lost the points for gate number 4. Sailing through 5A there, onto 5B. This big point. No, he's got to get the front tyre slightly to the right hand side. There's a little point. You see it there, he just got that perfect. You can't quite see from that perspective, but that's actually a little bit taller than I am, so it's probably about 6'6", about an inch higher than me.
It's a good
wish
job
I was
you've
6'5".
got to see him against the tape measure, that's for sure. That's
Right,
like
here
your
we go.
tape measure. He nails that last bit on the way through there. 50 points.
Very nice.
100 points in total. That puts him in 3rd position with 1 more rider to go. It is, of course, Jack Carter, the defending champion, as the rest of the riders already looking ahead here. And this checking the course out is so key, isn't it? And you've got to wonder now. We saw him go in, you said he was taking just a different approach on some of these lines. It didn't quite pay off on that one key move.
He got really close. I think he probably could have gone more for the way that, I mean, more like you would do it as a right-footed rider and kind of jump straight over, because there's a little edge for the back wheel. I'm very intrigued to see how Jack gets on with this. So here we go. Jack doing a slightly different approach to the other guys, going at a bit of an angle and turning up through those markers. So 30 seconds through his time, moving pretty swiftly, and here we go, he's onto this tricky corner move. Now he's a left-footed rider, we haven't seen anybody clear this move just yet. So come on Jack, he knows that if he can get 60 points on this section, he's going to be keeping a very nice, he's put he just touched his pedal there. So what he's done is very cleverly, he knows that putting a foot down there and getting set perfectly and moving on is worth it. But 50 points, if he can keep 50 points on this, doesn't matter anyway.
But he does need all 50 to go level with our leader, so he's got to get it right from here on in.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tight. Like I said, going out last, he knows that he's got to, what he's got to do, he's got to keep up with everybody else. So he's got to get this last move. 30 seconds left, so he's ahead on time, a little bit faster than everybody else so far. And this massive pedal up, making it look like a curb. Just straight out the end. There we go, big lift.
Yeah.
That's Kenny Belay, 4 times world champion there in the background as well. He retired competing a couple of years ago.
And Kenny, and a real legend on the scene, isn't he? He's one of these people who just knows the sport inside out, and not just a multi-time world champion. I mean, he's got so many medals. He's probably going to need a whole room for him. Never mind a mantelpiece.
I've seen his room, and he does have a whole room for his medals and trophies, and a whole hallway for all of his world champion jerseys. Yeah, I'm not sure how he manages to get up the hallway with his head being that big.
You said that.
He won't mind. I've known him for a long time.
So here we go.
Incredible rider. Here we go, Marti Vierda. So first rider we're going to see through section number 3, and we've got this big kicker. So first, he's already through the first 2 gates, clean 20 points to his name so far on this section. So big bit of power on the pedals, lift, and he just missed the kick off of the ramp there. So this kicker is A, pretty shallow, and B, it's incredibly close to the face of this. So I was wondering when I walked the course earlier how it's actually going to pan out. You can see there that as you try and lift, it just kind of the wall is so close, that move is so close. Marty doesn't look very happy there. He knows that he's
that's two sections in a row, though, isn't it? Because remember, previous section he only scored 30 points. He had a great section 1. Section 2 went all wrong for him, and section 3 has got it even more wrong once again, and that is.
But it's such a difficult move. I'm interested to see how everybody gets on. You can see from that angle just how shallow that kind of kicker is. I mean, it's barely a kicker because it's so close. I'm big up to front. Right, Oliver Woodman starts section 3, flying through the first gate, picking up 10 points, and then motoring through the sand there. Looked like he was riding across the desert there for a second. This awkward pedal up move, hook in the front wheel. Yes, well done, Ollie. Awesome move there, silky smooth. Now, can he get this kicker line done? Here we go, back wheel starting right on the edge of the run up. Big bit of power. Oh, look at that!
And you questioned it could be done. He's just made it look easy.
Oh God, he just, it was like he just kind of went, oh, and then he's on top. Fantastic. Yes, so smooth. That was almost as smooth as Ollie in a nightclub.
And that is that is not what Marty needed to see, was it, either? No. Marty having failed on there, just to see it being done so smoothly, that is not going to do his head any good. And that is really going to mess with his head.
Yeah.
If he wasn't already in trouble, that could make a big difference.
Exactly, and Marty needs to keep his head together, and that's where Oliver's doing really, really well here. He's keeping his head on, he's keeping really focused, and that's what he needs to do. I can't believe he just rolled up that kicker so well.
Well, he's
big gap across.
Only dropped 10 points so far, remember, in the first 2 sections, so clearly on form, and at the moment, heading the leaderboard.
So he's definitely keeping the pressure on everybody at the moment. Lining up. Yes, absolutely, putting in the power. Here we go. So he's back to this, or he's up to this last move. It's a huge hook from a really short run up. So here we go. Has he got enough power? Here he goes. Oh, he just went to pedal, so he can get 50 points. It's a solid effort. There's his trainer, Carol Serwin. Life Cycle Trials.
So close there. I mean, he nailed
so close.
The halfway marker, going up and over, and had that absolutely done. We thought that last move, it was so similar as well.
Yeah, he did so close to getting that last move. I actually thought he would have got it there. But that kicker, look at that. Look at the way he's just eked it up, and the front tyre went over just enough to pull the back wheel over. I mean, I can't believe the bike actually even fits on that. Like, that's really good.
That was millimetres perfect. There was hardly anything below the bush guard and the chain wheel there was there as he went
reaction. Over. I think he actually thought he'd kind of failed it for a second, then went, oh, hang on, it's going. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, Noah Cordona. Let's see what he's got. Half pedal up to front wheel, and then across the desert to gate number 2. Here we go, lining up. So they've actually, you can see they've fully dug a hole there right across the floor. Try and get this, make this move a little bit more possible. Let's move straight forwards to back wheel, dropping down, and he's up to the 3rd gate on this section. It is all still very, very close for these riders. Here we go, Noah Cordona going for this super shallow, super close kicker. What's his reaction speed like? Oh, and he tried to do it as a pedal up instead of actually using it as a bunny hop normal ramp style. He tried to do it as an actual pedal up. So what he's done is basically accelerated, kept pedaling up the ramp and leaned back. So it'll be interesting to see if he does it again on the 2nd try. Yes, he does. But no, he's not going to quite make it. That's such a shame. Noah Cordona there with 20 points. So Oliver is so far out from the commanding lead.
That is a key movement, isn't it? That one piece there at the moment is a massive separator here.
Yeah. This could be a huge separator. I mean, the difference between getting sort of 50 points and 20 points, you know, it's a 30-point difference in just this one section. You know, you can see there, using that technique, it's going to be really, really hard. I did wonder if 26-inch riders would use that. The 20-inch bikes are a little bit shorter, so if you pump through those on a kicker, you can kind of pull back a little bit more like a BMX. But on the bigger mountain bike wheels, with a high bottom bracket, low front end, you can see there, using that technique, it's difficult. He needed to pull the front wheel further back and loop the back wheel out on the way up, more like a motorbike.
And he was desperate to get through, even if he had to put a foot down, because it unlocks all of those points on the other side.
Absolutely. Now, Vincent, like we've been saying, very experienced rider, straight through the first 2 gates, 30 seconds gone now as he goes for gate number 3. Let's see what he's got. Pulls the front. Oh my God! Vincent, what are you trying to do, you maniac? Oh my God, that was awesome. I'll tell you what, if he held that, that would have been literally the move of, like, the year. That was awesome. Let's see, I reckon he might even go for it again. He's trying to lift, push to the front. Oh, he's gone for the hook. That is a shame because he dropped 1 on there, so he won't get the points for that gate.
But he's through.
He's through, and he's got a minute left to try and get to the end of the section. And I know that he's very, very good at hooks, so the last move on this section I think he can do.
He's got to get there. He's got to get there in time.
Yeah, he's got to get a move on now. Doesn't want to be hanging around too much. Up to the back tire. You've got to be really accurate on the 26-inch bike. That's actually a very, very short gap. So you've got to really be very accurate. You can't kind of land and go. You've got to land, make sure you're dead right, and then lift straight up. And this big gap across. Much, much harder than Vincent's making it look there, trust me. Actually, talking about Kenny there, watching the crowd and going around with Jack, him and Vincent competing for a very, very long time against each other, back and forth with world titles. Right, here we go. He's on to the last gate. He's got 15 seconds. He's got no time to recover. He's going to have to go full power. Come on, Vincent. Oh, and just no power left. He's a little bit angry there. I think he's saying bananas or something.
Yeah, he's going to be saying something. That's probably a good job. We can't quite hear, hopefully not. Apologies to anybody if they have been offended on the way through. As you can imagine, the emotion is running high. There's so much at stake after having unlocked the section coming up over the top. It was his second attempt, which it just shows, I mean, he expended a lot of energy on attempt 1, then went into 2. He then continued onwards, and he really needed that score. He's still in second place. He's only 10 points off the lead, so he might be frustrated.
Very close. But Oliver Widman staying ahead of Vincent Hermance after 3 sections, but incredibly close. So here we go. Danny Baron into section 3. So a different approach. We saw the other guys actually pedal forwards off the floor, and Danny decided to go. Like I said, he's a left foot rider, so he decided to go a slightly different, more static approach up the side, going for this kicker line. Let's see. And he's decided, it looked like he'd already committed to putting that foot down. He was like, I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go for the 50 points and keep that pressure on.
And strategically, I guess that means if you know that you're going to get your foot on, if you're planning to put the foot down on there, you can take a different approach to it.
As he ran in, you see as he came up the kicker, he was slightly turned to the to the left-hand side, which means that he was ready to put his non-biased foot, so his right foot up onto the top of the platform. And then, yeah, pinning that and switching there, nice, no worries for Danny there. So, yeah, you can see he just kind of set up biased. He was like, I'm going to do this, I want to get the 50 points. You know, he wants to have a good shot at this last move, and he's moving really quickly. He's well ahead on time of where we saw the others at this point. So he needs to not slow down. So he's going for a slightly different approach again. So he's going off the rock there. Oh yeah, but no worries. This guy's got power for days. So 30 seconds left. He's 15 seconds ahead of what Vincent had. So you can have a little recovery. Little kick in from the sand, and then a big rotation. So, kick. Yes, he's done it!
He allows it, doesn't he?
We've seen it done, ladies and gentlemen.
So second place, or tied for second place, 150 points apiece. There, that was a really strategic run on his way in there, wasn't it?
That was amazing.
I mean, smart riding to take the option of going for the 50 there.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it was a pretty wise decision because that kicker is a very, very dicey move, and yeah, I mean, he's playing like he wants to stay in contention for the win. You can see that last move there. Now that hook is literally about the same height as my head, so that is a long way up. I'm not that short. Thank you very much, Matt. So yeah, it is a long way up. Like I said, a couple of years ago, that would have been world record height. So Jack just pedaling across the desert there. He makes his way to gate number 2, 10 points so far in this section, I believe. No problem going through that. Straight into the kicker and rolls straight up. The crowd going absolutely mental, like, hang on a minute, I looked away for a second and he's just over it. That is Jack's trained a lot of kickers, and
Are you
he's
sure they didn't
incredibly
lower that in the way
confident.
through?
I
It was
know.
like somebody's dropped it down.
I think he's riding a different course. Look at the time. He's like 35 seconds ahead of everybody else. So he's just got to hold it together now and try and keep that lead. Here we go. So he's going for this takeoff the rock on the floor. 1 minute 15 left on the clock, and now he can just afford, hopefully, to just chill out a little bit and just be nice and solid as he moves his way through this next bit. Just needs to chill out and make his way through. 1 minute left. He's got nearly half his time left, and he's almost on the last gate. On 2 wheels, nice and smooth to the floor, then lining straight up.
Remember, nobody has cleaned this section yet. Nobody's got right the way through in one with full score.
And he's got 40 seconds. And I tell you what, he's the Guinness World Record holder for the forward hook for this exact move. So, of course, there it is. Boom. Jack Carthy, 60 points again. He jumps into the lead, 10 points ahead. Was that 20 points?
It's going
To updates, maybe.
B. No, I think it's going to be 10 points. We just wait for the scores to do it.
I think it is.
Check.
Let's have a look.
On the way through.
He dropped 10 on the previous one, so yeah, 170. So I believe he's going to be 170. Oliver Widman, second place so far on 160. Vincent Hamance on 150. I believe that is going to be the scores.
So whilst our system does a little bit of an update, we could just sort of almost pinch ourselves and take a little bit look back. There we go.
As I said,
it is a 170 there. I'm glad our maths is working right back in the commentary box here. Matt
about as
Payne
good as
and
my
Andre
maths ever
Burton
gets.
with you here, and we're going to be continuing to bring you all the action now. Marty needs to pick himself quite literally back up off the floor.
Yeah.
He's not having a good day at the office, is he?
No, he's not. He's not. I know he's capable of riding incredibly well. So let's see. And he hasn't performed as well as I know that he can perform normally. This is interesting. I actually didn't think this was possible, but he's managed to get to that permission. It's so steep for the bike there. And they're going to give him one for that. I'm not sure. Was it clean?
No,
Maybe
those hands are clenched firmly together, aren't they, by our commentators?
Oh, Marty! That was a silly mistake. I think he just didn't let go of the brake enough.
And
that is
so much, I think there's just so much pressure on him, isn't there, now, after having such a great run, number one. I mean, he cleaned the first section, and then 30, 20, and...
Look at that, he's just... Oh, I think the problem is here, his head's lost the game, do you know what I mean? He's kind of out of his little competition bubble, and it's such a shame, such a shame.
And the thing is now, because he's lost so much there, he really is. He almost can't get back to the top, no matter what the rest of them do. Surely there's no way back. He's just got to take the experience and enjoy the competition.
Oh, yes, Oliver! Okay, so we actually saw Marty approaching that from a slightly different angle because Marty went up, around, and back. A slightly more complicated route. But here we go. Oliver Widman making light work of that first gate. He is a left foot. This is a very awkward line. Yes, look at that. Lovely, lovely. Very nice. And then being really, really confident on that move as well. He's going to spin around for this gate.
And why go round?
Why go round? Because he's left-footed, so actually it's slightly better for him to lean into the right-hand side, gives him more clearance with his right pedal being at the back, so that there's more space to move the bike up onto that. And he's already through that next gate as well. So 30 points so far for Oliver Widman. He's back on the top spot for the time being. Here we go. Fast work of that hook. Straight through there, really close with the gates. Going for this next move. 1, 2, backwards, dropping through that. The commentators there just talking to each other, saying, yeah, it was close, but we're going to give it to him. Here we go. Now this very awkward hook. Oh, yeah, he's done it. Oh, that was close. I thought he was going to slide backwards then. Back tie was just on it. 30 seconds left. He's on 40 points. There we go. Through section, or through gate 5.
He's out.
He's, unfortunately, there is... Oh, Oliver. Oliver. Yeah, so what he's done there, you can see the rope coming down the side of that. That's the section tape. You're not allowed to cross that horizontal line. So what he should have done is gone back up to the high right-hand side and then gapped across. Technically, no more difficult than what he just did, but he hasn't walked the section properly.
Oh,
You know, you do see this.
See that again because
People
that was
forget it.
so key.
Ollie, Ollie, Ollie.
He made light work of this, and then.
Oh,
But
unbelievable.
we've seen those mistakes. It happens, doesn't it?
It does. And he was looking just so strong. I have no doubt he was on his way to getting out of that section. But his coach there, Carol's going to be saying to him, forget about it, it's done. Last section, concentrate now. So here we go. Noah Cordona rolling in for section 4. Big pedal up, making it look very, very simple. Going slightly different way backwards through that marker, and that's because he's right-footed, so it's easier for him to pivot up on the front wheel to the left. And then, of course, on a trials bike, as a trials rider, you could drop backwards, forward, sideways, whatever you want, no problem. Oh, no. He's off to the side.
Just 1 foot.
That's a 5. He came completely over the side there. That is upsetting for Noah.
Do you know, we saw the start here on this section. It looked good. Yeah, I mean, we saw, you know, Oliver come into this, and it looked like, oh, this is going to be easy. You know, Mike came in, and
fortunately, Oliver still got 40 points on that section.
Yeah, but that's the biggest score so far. So we're not seeing quite as straightforward as maybe we thought. And this section with this palm tree surface. It's catching the riders out, I think, maybe more than we would have expected.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's very easy to go wrong. Like we were saying, it's kind of bristly. So Vincent there just dropping off over the other side, going around to the other approach. There we go. So Vincent, as he started this section, was 50 points behind Oliver. So he needs 50 or more to jump ahead of Oliver now. So he knows he's going to have to stay nice and steady. It's going to be interesting to see what he does here. He's right-footed. I thought he would have gone for the run-up approach, but he's going for switch foot. Oh yes, he did it switch foot. So he's spun round to his opposite foot to go over that move. Very, very, very hard. That is experience. I've known Vincent for a long time, and I know that he's trained that a lot.
And that's not natural, is it? That's something he's really worked on.
I mean, it's literally, imagine throwing a ball as far as you can with your right hand, and then putting it in your bad hand, your left hand, and throwing it just as far. It's that kind of thing, you know? Or playing tennis with your wrong hand. That's what it's like. It's honestly, it's so strange. It's ridiculous.
Well, it just shows that it's...
Let's see what's happening here. Vincent out of the section. What happened there?
They gave him a mark on that there.
They gave him a mark on there because he just scraped his pedal on the way through there. So unfortunately, that's 10 points for Vincent on that section 4.
This is really going to chase.
This is unbelievable. What's going on?
So we've got 160 points for Vincent. Danny Baron's on 150.
So Danny knows now that, come on, he can get this. Come on, Danny. And Danny's left-footed. So is Jack. So it's pretty good for these guys, this particular move. So, well, I say that. It's literally commentator's curse. I'm just going to shut up from now on.
And
2 points.
Now he's there. He's
on 3 points.
You said this was an easy run. He's on 3 points.
Well, yeah. I mean,
this competition is suddenly, all of a sudden, it's just crumbling.
I think they're just losing it. The heat's getting to them.
It's getting cooler. Maybe it's because the
temperature's dropping. It's not hot enough. I mean, Danny's actually from. So it is pretty warm there most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, front to back. So Danny so far 20 points on this section. So he's jumped ahead. He should jump ahead of Vincent, I believe, in the ranking at the moment.
But he's on 170 points. He's just really heading into last chance saloon, isn't he? Because he's got 3 red flags at the moment. There's 3 red marks against him.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter as long as he can actually clean the next moves. He doesn't need the points, but he's got less of a backup for these movements. So this one here, whoa, yes, that was lucky. That was very lucky. He managed to hold out very nicely. So this is where Oliver should have gone through this line. Oliver went to the left-hand side.
Oliver's going to be kicking himself because he's just seen that move being done.
I've seen it happen a lot. That's why you need to walk the section so much. Really pay attention. And flying up that is a very, very big move to back wheel. Danny just flying up that. He's got 13 seconds left. This is the last move of the section, which will give him 50 points and put him into a solid, I think, a solid 2nd place. Yeah, this moved up to 2nd, I believe. Oh, great ride from Danny there. So, at the moment, Danny and Oliver both on 200. Oliver Whitman just staying ahead. Let's work this out.
So Whitman just ahead because of that 60 points in that first run, that clean first run for him. At the moment paying off, that's why he, even though he's tied on points, just ahead, then losing 10 points in every single section. It's Danny Barron, very, very close, and a good run by him, but he's like, you can see he knows that could have been the top there, but here we go, Jack Carthy, defending champion.
On gate number 2 already, I'm guessing, he's cleaned gate number 1, and no worries through that gate there. Here we go. Now, this should be good for Jack. Oh, but do you know what? I'm going to take that back.
Yeah, don't say a word here.
Who knows what's going to happen?
We've cursed everything so far on the way through.
Look at this. So, straight through front of back. This is good so far. Flying through, 30 seconds gone. He's right the way down the fire, and of course making his way back now through gate number 4. Hooking that front wheel. From that other view, you can just see he's got to put that front wheel right next to the marker.
No room for error whatsoever, is there, on that?
No room at all. So he's going to do the kind of backwards idea here. Back wheel, straight the way through.
And the spatial awareness to know exactly where the centre line of that bike is whilst flying through the air, backwards, coming off that
when you do
tree
moves
truck
like
coming
that, you're
down.
kind of going to back and you look down, look at the marker, and you're like, my back axle's there, my back axle's there, and I'm back through, okay. It's kind of, and look at that, holding his balance. And he's just switched to back wheel and flown through. Didn't even need to drop off to the left and come round. So 38 seconds left and he's on to the last gate. This is a really, really big pedal up, but I get the feeling he's going to make it look pretty simple. Yeah. There's only a handful of people that are going to be able to do that move, and he's just casually done it, you know?
It's like you said, just out for a little ride in the park.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just going to have a little roll through. Look at that.
60 points.
60 points. The man is absolutely unstoppable at the moment.
Here we go. Who would have thought?
I don't know. I'm hoping he's breathing hard at the end of that one, because you can just see that's put the pressure on 60 points now. So a clear lead for Jack Carthy with one more section to go.
30-point lead going into the last section. So you know, he could just kind of.
Now, without giving you any spoilers, because we have seen some incredible things happen in this last section earlier on. Jack Carthy's in the driving seat, 30 points clear. Behind that battle is very close. No point difference between second and third place, the silver and bronze medal positions at the moment. But this is something else again. We've got the water, we've got the sand, we've got the rocks, and on top of all that, this is the very final section, and everyone are going to be feeling the pressure. They're going to feel that the moves before they get into the end, they know that this has got to be nailed. So it all culminates with this.
Absolutely, it's going to come down to this. And so far, although Jack's got quite a big lead, he can still ride in and slip, because this section has got sand, water, nightmare, rocks. So you've got to be really, really accurate. I mean, anything could happen here. So we just really don't know. And it's just going to be so tight.
And the previous sections have not been a predictor for what happens, particularly on these rocks.
No, not at all. So this really can change everything. We have seen from earlier on, which we won't spoil. I'll show you in case you haven't watched the women on 20 inch. You should check those out. Marty going for this now. Look, the tyre's struggling, the tyre's sliding back.
Hey, I tell you, that was some landing though, coming back down again. He managed to plant it on the way down and recover. Goes for the one.
He's just managed to keep the wheels in the line. There we go. Oh no! Oh, his back brake just totally gave way there, I think.
And landed just on that rock, which is okay there.
So once you've been in the water, because in a 20-inch you have disc brakes on the rear, and on the 26, you know, you have rim brakes on the back. And once you go in the water and a bit of sand and everything, the brake is just a different brake. So you can't kind of be slack. You can't kind of just throw it and know that the brake's going to hold you. You have to land perfectly. And I think he just kind of leaped out slightly there.
I think a final to forget really there for Marty. A brilliant job done. The first section was clean, and that's what he's got to focus on, isn't it? You could see him struggling with the grip, struggling to hold this. And there's hardly a flat surface on there, is there? It's all cambered away, really, from where you want it almost to be on here. And we've seen so many people struggle on here. And then the wheel just slid out. And the reason for the rim brake is because of that extra wheel size. You get that you get that extra leverage on the brake if it's on the disc brake, so you do need to have the rim brake on there. Yeah,
absolutely. So with a 20-inch wheel, it's a lot more rigid. There's not as much movement at all, whereas on a 26, if you have a disc, you get all that rotational force movement, and it just feels very unsteady on the back wheel. It doesn't have the same stopping power. Now, Ollie could be on for the best result he's ever going to have here in the elite category.
Today.
He is on to date, and it's going to keep improving. But yeah, he's well and truly on for a podium position. So let's hope. I mean, I really hope he does well here. Come on, Ollie, keep it together. Focused. He's trained so hard this year. I really want to see him do well. Come on. You can see his back wheel was a little bit off there, but his back wheel was just sliding all over the place on these rocks. So you can see there, and that's over.
Yeah.
Just 20 points on this section. He's going to be seriously annoyed with that.
So 2 lots of 20 points from the last section. This waterfall feature is so key to this last section, and if people can get past it, it's not easy afterwards, is it? But no, it is still going to be just that little bit easier. If you can get past it, so it could make the difference.
So far, looking at the scores, if Vincent can get through this on 60 points, he could potentially take
a medal position.
He could overtake Oliver and push Oliver out with the medals if Vincent managed to get through that section on 60 points. So, you know, pressure's on. No pressure, Vincent.
Yeah, no pressure. We want a perfect run on what is the real crux of the whole section. That, you know, this is the toughest section in the toughest moves at the end of the competition. So they really have made this very difficult indeed, haven't they?
I mean, Vincent's going to need at least 40 points on this section to have any chance of getting up onto the podium in this. So,
whoa. Just say something. I mean, Jack is having a real look around there, isn't he? So here we are.
Jack knows that this is the section that is very important. Very important indeed. So Noah Cordona here to Danny Paramont's fishing boat, and here we go through the water.
Keeps the front wheel out there, keeps the front wheel drive, but can't do that with the back, can't levitate across it.
Exactly. So yeah, you've got to keep the front wheel out to keep as much friction and keep it as clean as possible, and actually leave your front brake working essentially as best you can. So this is all very technical, tight manoeuvring, slippery rocks, as we've seen. So making his way right the way back down to the sand. Now, we haven't seen any riders get through this gate clean yet. Let's see if Noah Cordona is the man to do it. So I was pretty excited to see how this particular move would plan out. Look at that little point. Oh! Front wheel straight out, that's a 5, so 20 points for Noah Cordona on that section.
I said,
oh,
no, he's letting him go.
That's
Don't let him go.
very, very interesting. From this angle it looked out, but I guess it's still in.
Through.
Oh,
that's going to bear a look again, isn't it? Because that was so close.
Now we get our first look at gate number 4. Now gate number 4, really, really, really difficult. You can't clearly make it out from here, but coming out of the sand like this is kind of, I'll tell you what, he has done incredibly well there. But he just missed 4B, which is actually just down that box. He wasn't planning on this. He's got to quickly figure out how to get through this. He's going to go that backwards technique again, put the front wheel out to the side. 155 to try and get this move.
Nope,
they haven't given it
time. No, you just see the wave there from the commissaire, from the referees.
30 points for Noah there.
Ahead of Marty Vereda as he goes into what is currently 5th position. But remember, we still got to see the guys that have made the way through. And of course, at the moment, the man in the pole position is Jack Carthy, 230 points. Great run by Noah here, and didn't panic when he came off and didn't quite get the drop down on that gate 4B. Had to come back in and over.
Yeah.
He
it's
went
a shame
back
because
in.
he could have had another 10 points, but let's just check the scores. I'm not sure it would have made much of a difference. Vincent through this first gate, so 10 points already for Vincent. Now remember, he's going to be looking for at least 40 points. So it's really important he makes that gate number 3 crux move. So,
and then gets through 4, and then hopefully can then score some more. But he's got to get there.
I'll tell you what though, he's really, really good on rock. I mean, obviously he's such an experienced rider. I mean, he's been riding since he was like 3, so that's about 45 years. But he's really, where he trains, he lives near Paris, and where he trains is very, very natural, very slippery, or can be very slippery rock. So I think if anyone's got a good chance here, I think it could be Vincent. So I'm intrigued to see what he does here. I'll tell you what, he's gone for,
no.
Vincent.
Game over. Game over.
Oh my God.
He sat down there.
No, Vince. So Vincent, that means Vincent's off the podium, and Oliver Widman is guaranteed a medal today, which, on a personal note, I'm glad Captain Smooth is in the medals. Yes.
Gutted for Vincent there.
I am gutted for
Vincent. He was in with the chance. He needed 40. He got 20. You've got no scoring 30 as the highest scorer, but he's right down in the rankings overall. And really now, Danny Barron and Jack Carthy going to be fighting it out.
Yeah, I mean,
for those
Danny Barron could have a really good ride here, and then Jack could still come out and go completely wrong, and Danny could be in first place. So, you know,
it's not doable, because we've seen how hard this is. With 30 points, if everybody was completing these sections, you say, okay, it's in the bag pretty much. But then no, we're seeing 10s, 20s.
Yeah,
this is
silly
not
mistakes.
big.
Yeah, you've got to stay so concentrated. Come on, Danny. Here we go. Keep the pressure on. He knows he's going to get a medal. What colour is it going to be? Can he win that rather nice white top this year? Here we go. 20 points as he makes his way. So this is actually, I'll just explain quickly, probably should have done this earlier, but gate 3 here, you've seen those first 2 yellow markers that he's already gone through and looped round. That's A and B. So you've got 3A, 3B, then he's going to go through 3C, which is the next one at the bottom of the next rock, and then 3C, and then 3D, which is the other side of the rock. So you've got to get through all of those elements clean. Oh, yes, he's done it! Come on, Danny!
Smooth as,
yes.
Look at that.
Yes. Oh my God, amazing.
This is going to be
and he's
pushing.
through 4 as well. Oh my God, I've never seen him so focused. This is absolutely fantastic, Danny. That was amazing. Did you see that? Textbook, just absolute 100% commitment.
Look at this.
Points.
42.50. It's racking up here. Can he clean this on the way through? Can he get 260? It's going to put the pressure on Jack Carthy.
Yeah. Here we go. Hook into back wheel. This huge gap across to the front tyre. Finish it with an amazing tower in the background. Has he got it? He's got it. 60 points. Oh, amazing, Danny. Amazing, Danny.
Oh, what what a pull out at the end there.
Minimum second. Look at that. So he's 30 points clear of Jack.
I think Jack's hoping you're wishing he had a way of driving at us some
Jack
more.
now knows that he's got to clear gate 3, the tricky one that we've seen 4 out of the 6 riders already fall off of.
That could be a gold medal winning run. He's put it
That's
on
incredible.
there. That
60
fantastic.
points, Danny. Amazing.
The only run that he has cleaned. He's dropped 10 points on every single section before this. And yet
the
through
one
here,
the one that nobody else has got through yet, 60 points. I mean,
so
this
random.
is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, Jack needs to get through that incredibly difficult line. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing, Danny. He is just... come on. There we go. So yeah, 30 points. 30 points.
So Jack out on course. This is for a medal. What colour will it be for Jack Carthy? He's currently in the 2nd place position. He's got to score more than 30, and where he's got to get past is where we've been seeing all of those issues here today.
Yeah. And this is really interesting because it doesn't come down to sort of big power moves to finish. It's literally just going to have to be spot on perfect with your wheel placements the whole way through.
Here we are. This is that critical section. He's coming in from A and B, coming across. Andre, talk us through this.
So he's going for a slightly different approach to Danny here. He's going for the approach that actually we've seen the other guys not try and fail. So Jack's going to have to be really, really on it here. Danny is, he's going to be incredibly nervous.
Oh, he's back down. He's back down. This
He's doing it. He's doing it. I wondered if he might do this. So he knows
he's going to give away points
if he
to
can
get over
through
the
this,
top.
If he can get through this and get through the next markers.
But he's so out of position, surely. This is really, really tactical riding, isn't it?
Very, very tactical. He wants that jersey. Now, if he can clear this gate now.
He's 10 points off. He's got 3 60 points in the bag.
Yeah, so he has to clear this to win. Oh, this is nail-biting stuff.
It comes down to this. He's hesitating.
Okay.
He's giving away another one. He's trying to scratch out the win here, and he's doing it.
I think Danny Baron might be.
They can hardly watch. It's down to, he's on 4 red
He's
marks.
got to clean this gate.
One more touch, he's in trouble.
And that's 30 points.
It's going to be
another. Oh my God, Jack, did he just get 4?
It's going to be
another. Oh my God, Jack, did he just get 40?
He cleans it all the way through.
Oh my God, Danny! Oh my God, that was an up and down. Oh, bloody hell! Well done, Jack. Oh my God! What? I told you 10 times he wants.
That is 5. Apologies there for the like. I can't quite believe it here. We just couldn't believe what we were seeing on the way through. That was some run by Jack Carthy. Jack Carthy had to get tactical. He had to be smart. He played it smart. It might not have been the prettiest run he's ever done, but I tell you something, that means so much to him, and you've got to feel. But I tell you something, that means so much to him, and you've got to feel that Danny Baron, he put a perfect run in at the end. He didn't quite do enough to take away gold, but you know what? That was some run to the finish.
Unbelievable. So Jack has won more Elite 26 titles than anybody ever. And look at this, the last move, just straight up. He's like, whatever, I'm going. Oh my God. I really feel for Danny Baron there, because that was the ride of his life in that last section for Danny.
He was so consistent. I mean, he scored 50, 50, 50, 50, 60, and he put it in at the end, and then you've got 60, 50, 60, 60, and then a 30 from Jack because of that move over the waterfall. And once he committed to putting his foot down, he left the last minute. One mistake, he was on 4 reds. You know, that is gambling of the highest caliber there. I wouldn't want to play poker with that, man.
Absolutely
wow.
Unbelievable. Well, Charlotte and his son Miles will be at home ecstatic with that. He's got a little, nearly 5 years old now, his son, which is pretty mad. And there's 8 times former 20-inch world champion Benito Ross just saying congratulations.
Well, I tell you something, they do know exactly how it is, how hard it is to win, and that was as close as it gets. That doesn't get any closer than that. And you can see.
Look at that.
Now, just taking a look there, I mean, you can see he's gone through. Now, we're having a 260 showing up on the scoreboard there. We thought he came across the line with 270 on there. It looks to me like he's had 10 taken off, but it doesn't matter because he's got 360s to Danny's single 60. So even with that 10 taken off, and that looks like there's been either a recalculation on the way through.
Yeah, I thought
he had a 40 at the end. It's taken down to a 30, and it doesn't matter because he scored. He still won.
But Danny, come on, like, honestly, both of those two, what a show! And Oliver Widman smoothly into 3rd place.
And so smooth initially, and then it all just went so wrong on that last one. I mean, he started up at the top and he rolled down inside the podium there, finishing some 30 points clear of Vincent Hermans in 3rd place.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible riding. Let's have a little recap of some of these epic moments. Incredible riding from these athletes.
And this, I mean, Jack, he started in real style. He absolutely flew around here, and for a winning run, you'd want to put together some amazing runs. And some of these sections, when he came up on to the UCI sections with that big hook up,
just
I mean,
unbelievable.
He went at it so fast. I mean, it's like somebody strapped nitrox to the back of the bike.
It's just a different. It was like just a different section, wasn't it? It was like he was riding something else. Here we go. We're seeing all these moments from Jack. So this is the moment. Look at this. There, straight up, back wheel, drops down, starts pedaling, lifts straight up, and he just rolled up like I don't know.
What were you worried about, guys? This is just.
What are you talking about? And there's the hook up to back wheel. Not even remotely not going to make that. Unbelievable.
Well, fantastic riding here by Jack Carthy. But I have to say, he made us really wonder. He came through. He was looking so good. He'd only got 10 points in the first 4 sections, and it's done so smoothly. I mean, that focus as he comes in, he was riding absolutely out of his skin, but then on to the rocks. Absolutely making things so nail-biting there. And he's going to be, I think, really relieved, but we will find out because we're going to catch up with your champion. It is Jack Carthy.
So, Jack, congratulations, 5 times world champion. You've got to be feeling pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. To be honest, the course wasn't my style at all. The level of it was too small, so I couldn't make a margin. So I thought I'd go old school and try go 2 wheels and even use a few dabs what I had done on me coming up in my career. So I thought I'd do it to these new young uns. So yeah, no, I'm really happy to take my 5th one. I mean, it's my 10th world title in all of them. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm in double figures now, so I'm going to keep going.
So going into that last section, that must have been feeling a bit tense going. Can you talk us through it?
Yeah, it definitely looked probably intense, but before I even started, I already had plans to take the one on that one because I just thought, what's the point risking it, giving it away? I've done that too many times in my career, passed them away, give them to the next place by just being stupid. So I just thought, right, I'll try use my head now. I'm getting a bit older.
And what effect did the sand and the water in the course have, apart from the fact you say it's a bit small for you?
Yeah, the sand. For me, the sand were a nightmare because like I'm probably one of the fastest riders on the circuit, and basically it took away my advantage, and then everyone ended up like the same speed because of the sand. So same again, it just made it harder for me. No one else really, I don't think, for winning.
Well, congratulations, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next year.
Yes, thank you.
Well, great to hear from Jack there, and maybe all of that time training up in Yorkshire, the Greater Republic of Yorkshire, pretty much within the UK. It's certainly a county that sees itself almost as a nation. In fact, at the Olympics, it won as many medals as Australia. So for some riders, this is when it really does sink in that they've made it, that they've got up on to a medals table and up on to the podium.
Yeah, so a clean sweep for the Spanish team in the 20-inch category. They're going to be very, very happy.
The medals and jersey will be presented by Mr. Jose Luis Serron, the UCI Management Committee member and president of the Trials Commission.
سيتم تقديم الميداليات والقميص من قبل السيد خوسيه لويس سيريون عضو مجلس إدارة UCI ورئيس لجنة الحكام.
In third place and winner of the bronze medal representing Spain.
في المركز الثالث والفائز بالميدالية البرونزية ممثلا عن إسبانيا.
Boca Conejos. In second place and winner of the silver medal representing Spain.
في المركز الثاني والفائز بالميدالية الفضية ممثلا عن إسبانيا
Alejandro Machado. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in first place, your UCI World Champion and winner of the gold medal, also representing Spain.
في المركز الأول وبطل العالم في UCI والفائز بالميدالية الذهبية من إسبانيا
Eloy Payao.
So the iconic jersey with those rainbow bands being pulled on after an amazing ride on his way through an almost perfect score. As you can see, with a handshake, he steps up onto the top step of the all smiles and no surprises.
Presented by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Rashid Al Ami, Director General of Abu Dhabi Housing Authority.
سيقوم بتقديم الزهور سعادة الدكتور محمد راشد الهاضمي مدير عام هيئة أبو ظبي للإسكان.
So fortunately our medalist grip stronger on the brakes rather than on the flowers as they're presented with those traditional flowers there, and great to see the others on the podium all smiles. You can imagine that they would have all wanted to be on that top step, not to be today. And the defending champion of the three probably looking the least impressed, I think, about not taking that win, and understandably so. I mean, he came here and I think he really thought it could have been his.
Yeah, I think Borco and Montalvo both know that it's very possible for them to win the World Championships. Of course, at least Borco's won it once. Montalvo, oh, he was so close, unbelievable. So you know.
So we're going to hear the national anthem of Spain, which is very appropriate with a whitewash on the podium by all Spanish riders.
It's a 1, 2, 3 for Spain.
So great to see our top three men up there. A Spanish 1, 2, 3, but the world champion Ilya Perlau taking away the rainbow jersey, taking away that gold medal, and they'll begin their photo or duties as our medalists, and of course it will be Blau who's going to be wearing that jersey. He's got to defend it though, out in.
I mean, at least he's going to wear it every day for the next what?
He won't
nearly a year until what is it, mid-August next year?
Yeah, he gets a little bit extra time, won't he, until we get to August on the way through. So we're going to see how he gets on with that. I'm sure he's probably going to go to bed and sleep in it. Most people have a habit of doing that on the way through. So. I think I would, and I'm sure you would as well, Andre, if we were ever in the chance of that. So great here at the championship. Don't forget, of course, there has been some amazing action, and it's all because we've been hosted in such fantastic settings here in Abu Dhabi. As the presentation party makes their way up on to the stage, your top three riders here, and that's going to be great to see their reactions. I think 3 happy riders on the podium.
Very happy indeed.
By Mr. Jose Luis Soron of the UCI Management Committee, member and president of the Trials Commission.
سيتم تقديم الميداليات والقميص من قبل السيد خوزيه لويس ريون عضو مجلس إدارة UCI ورئيس لجنة الحكام.
In third place and winner of the bronze medal representing Germany.
في المركز الثالث والفائز بالميدالية البرونزية ممثلا عن ألمانيا.
Oliver Wittmar. In second place and winner of the silver medal representing Spain.
في المركز الثاني والفائز بالميدالية الفضية ممثلا عن إسبانيا.
Daniel Barot. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in first place, your UCI World Champion and winner of the gold medal representing Great Britain.
في المركز الأول بطل العالم في UCI والفائز بالميدالية الذهبية ممثلا عن بريطانيا.
Jack Carthy.
So Jack Carthy from Great Britain takes the win here today, becomes our world champion, repeating his win of last year and in many previous years. And I think the only time that he lost out back in 2019, probably only serving to spur him on even more after not taking the win that year and getting the congratulations of the riders around him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 2019 just spurred him on that much more to not make any mistakes, and that probably made him win actually here today, because instead of trying to go for the a clean sweep on that last section, he played it safe and made sure what he was doing to win his title again.
As Dr. Mohammed Rashid Al Hamli, the Director General of the Abu Dhabi Housing Association, hands out the flowers here to our medalists. You can see that the riders are really happy there. We've got Oliver Wittmar, and they're taking away that third place, taking away that bronze medal. And of course, then you've got Danny there, Danny taking away a silver medal, and they're absolutely ecstatic with that.
Absolutely ecstatic, and he was so close to winning. Unbelievable. So close
By
to
the
winning.
smallest of margins, but Jack Carthy, the world champion for 2022.
In honor of our new UCI World Champion, we present the national anthem of Great Britain.
سيداتي وسادتي، تكريما لبطلنا العالمي الجديد في UCI، نقدم النشيد الوطني لبريطانيا.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of our new UCI World Champion, let's give a round of applause for all our medalists, Great Britain, Spain and Germany.
دعونا نرحب بأبطال العالم من بريطانيا، إسبانيا وألمانيا.
So your top three riders up on the stage. Oliver Wedman of Germany taking the bronze medal. Danny Barron of Spain taking the silver, but the gold medal and the World Champions jersey back on to Jack Carthy, and Jack knows exactly what to do. And great to see the result here today, bringing new people up on the podium there, Andre.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Danny Baronis' first, actually for Danny Baronis, his first final and first podium in the Elite World Championships.
What a way to do it and nearly take the win.
Yeah, I know, unbelievable, unbelievable. And then, yeah, Oliver, first time on the podium as well, so absolutely fantastic. And Jack there taking his 5th World